Buenos dias, buenos tardes, y buenos noches, and todos and todo el mundo, and good morning, good afternoon, and good evening to everybody all around the world. And thank you for joining us today for another Left 4 Dead 2 competitive shoutcast. My name is MK, I'm your caster and cameraman for today, and today we have round 10 of the Fallen Kings Championship. It is the winner bracket finals between Akatsuki and Hokori, and I will be accompanied by Naina. And how are you doing, my friend? Already? So I think everybody has returned, and we're going to see early tank at 32% of the way through the map, so we're going to see early Dark Carnival map. The next campaign that's going to be played is Haunted Forest. And then the tiebreaker is going to be on the dead center if it goes that way. Not interesting map choices.
Wow. I actually found it very strange that we're starting here on Dark Carnival because these two teams are notorious for going to oddball maps. I think one of Akatsuki's favorite maps seems to be Barcelona. They seem to be fearless about taking it to Barcelona all the time. Hokori, they shine at any kind of oddball map. Hit is going to come in, landing on two Hokori members, Hunter and the jockey, both landing. Spit is able to connect as well. And I gotta say, this is a huge win for Akatsuki. These kinds of hits are the kind of hits we expect Hokori to be shutting down. 2-2 Hunter jockey in an open space. Yeah, this bodes really well for Akatsuki, but of course, we've got way more to play than that.
And without hesitation, now let's get the tank into action. It'll be in the hands of Mila, but right now they're going to go for a smoker pole. It's not cleared yet. Charger, nope, just gets some 2 damage stumbles. Smoker tries for another scratch, but they'll take about 8.5% down with 1 full attack and 3 special infected. Corey is going to grab some weapons, and the roster for Akatsuki is going to be Mila, the addition that is a member who played on Judgment and also played on Dynasty, so it looks like Mila's been a little bit of a free agent bouncing around from some teams here. And their teammates is going to be Dex, Aisha, Gohan. Interesting lineup.
Yeah.
And why don't you take away Hori for us now? A little interesting there, huh?
Yeah, the lack of Nora, lack of Demon, lack of 520, but anyways, for Hokori, we've got Grizz, Zyko, Shockwave. We've also got Yaft rocking the butterfly emblem there, possibly a reference to Left 4 Divas match, Butterflies versus Ethereals, played earlier on in the week. But we will go ahead and have our first tank in the hands of Mila, who's actually going to be bringing in really quick. Has this car, which we normally don't really see brought in, but it's pretty scary here at this spot. Normally Survivor's not going to be too frightened at all, but look at this jockey taking a long time to get cleared. Tank not really reacting to it, eventually going to be tossing a rock. Player is going to go down. Grizz with a lot of leverage as well. Zyko still left alive, but if this was a full wipe, it would be absolutely catastrophic for Hokori. 3k HP Mila with the tank, and it looks like this is dead to rights here for Hokori. 3k HP tank, Smoker comes in. The round is done. Certainly not the place that I expected to see Hokori get wiped. Early on in Dark Carney, these tanks usually feel pretty safe. Wasn't the case here today, though.
Wow. No, I am flabbergasted. You were saying this right when the tank spawned. This is a pretty open map, and that car coming into play turned out to be a game changer because it caused a little confusion, something you rarely see in Hokori's movement during tank fights. It split them 3-1. And just everybody got capped. Everybody lost their 1v1. The tank didn't even know what to do now. He threw a rock out in the open, which we were both confused. I heard it when you were saying it, but it looks like they knew what they were talking about. Made us look foolish. And Hokori gets wiped. And
yeah, it was really crazy to watch. Like the car usually doesn't get brought in there. Just flexing their map knowledge there, recognizing that they do have the ability to bring in the car from that range. Once you see it in play, it's like, oh, that makes absolute total sense. But before it gets brought in, I think it's something that a lot of players wouldn't have even thought of. And in fact, that jockey that landed in the 3-1 scenario took so long to get cleared by Hokori. Hokori are usually the kings of lightning fast time to kill on SIs. They're going to be playing on the SI side themselves now. Coming with the Hunter, the jockey from behind. Hunter, long travel time to get in there, and it will get shut down. And this is kind of what I was worried about, MK. It's not quite 100% HP left for Akatsuki, but we have multiple members here who are chilling, one at 100, one at 98. Obviously, those 5-punch breakpoints didn't matter for Akatsuki's tank, but normally they do at this area, and this could be very beneficial for Akatsuki.
Yeah, they're just going to sack the smoker real quick, try to get some damage with it. It was a quad, but they're not going to get a chance to send it. Jockey actually spawns up while Grizz is tank number 1. He's going to go back and get the car, and they're just going to try to troll the survivors a little bit here, or they clear out the commons. All right, here come the cappers. They're going to see what they can get. Hunter gets skeeted. Jockey and Charger a little late. The Charger just misses. They'll get nothing from that, but some common damage does go out. But nothing really to write home about, and Grizz, get this car into play. It could take a little bit of time. Oh man, it's gonna be hard to get out here. No, yep, he's gonna lose it, and they'll have to fight it in the safe room. And this is probably right what Akatsuki needed or wanted. I mean,
I actually would have so much preferred Akatsuki take it forward on top of all these cars away from the hitter pool. But hey, they're gonna back it up. This is definitely not a bad spot by any means, MK.
No, and I believe he is going to have that police car. And there's no aggression to shoot Grizz whatsoever. There's going to be a couple of comments coming in too, and they've just allowed the tank. Oh, I almost got stuck on the billboard, but he gets it out. But all right, here we go. He has a 2-cap so far. The survivors are split 2 and 2. They're rushing the tank. Oh, they don't get the clear, but he can get the car. Can he get it fast enough? I don't think so. He also misses the punch. Oh, the jockey lands. There's a punch. They should be able to get this clear. Maybe not. Can the car get there fast enough? No, it cannot. So far, the tank is down to 2,500 HP. They have expelled about 17% total bonus off of the survivors. There is a cop car still into play. Akatsuki's got to be careful. They are not out of the green yet, or out of the woods. In fact, this car is going to split them. They have decided to push him and rush down to kill him. He's down 1,000 health when he had left. Oh, the rock just misses. The boomer comes in. Oh, it's a double boom. Oh, he can do something with this. Cop car flies over, splits the survivors again. Smoker pull comes out. Charger covers. Wow. That is a double cap. The cop car flies out of play. He will not get any more punches, but the damage is still going to find great value. And the tank is dead now, and that is about 40% damage. A little bit less. It's a good tank, but it's not a wipe like what happened to Hokori.
Exactly. It's huge for Akatsuki. This is going to be a hit coming up. I think it should be a 2-2. It might not be because the boom kind of did come into play. No, it is going to be that 2-2. Hunter, Jockey, once again, they spawned them in quick, but MK, they found an extra set of pills already. They're sitting on 3 sets of pills. And we know here on Dark Carnival, in Chapter 1, there are a couple prime spots, this being one of them, for a hit. But if the survivors can manage to get through healthily through here, they might even be able to rush down the hotel area. Let's be real, they'll get hit at least once through that motel area. But if they can wipe that off as well, they are pretty much golden to maybe even get some bonus into the safe room. So this is a very dangerous spot for Hokori. They've got a lot of work left to do. A lot of DB to break through. Hit comes out. Hunt spit onto Coach. Will be good. Jockey coming in to try to slow down. They all stack onto Coach. Hunt spit is what they're going to walk away with.
Yeah, that's pretty good follow-up. Another 10% comes down. Pills have been consumed. I didn't see the extra pill, the pill that they got there when you called it out, so that was actually pretty big. That's why the bonus went up a little bit. I did miss that, but if you notice that Hokori has no fear on attacking the shotguns of Akatsuki. They send the Hunter and everything stacked on them. There was no strategy to go for Uzi players. Pull in the back. This time there was. The Hunter will land. They get a pound spit for just, I think, 1 or 2 ticks. They were trying to focus the Charger. As Zyko hides in the room below, and it doesn't look like Akatsuki's planning to hunt him down. And he's going to go back for a despawn. And that's about another 9% damage, so Hokori's attacks are coming through, even though pills are being popped. Another reason the bonus is going down, but still, coming
Yeah.
out.
It is, but the issue is, MK, we're now past the area of those major hits. They're going to rush it down. I like this as well. Can they get out of the danger zone? Charger, Jockey, Hunter. Hunter not quite going to land the DP. The Jockey will, but as we know, that Jockey's not going to be adding any additional damage from that high pounds of 789. The hit's down, and there's still bonus in the pocket, right? I mean, it's 400 distance game, so if they only get 400, if they only get full distance here, they're only going to be ahead by about 300 points. But if they can manage to avoid wiping the DB, which is still quite possible for Hokori, but let's be real, MK, these hits are not the most ideal spot. Hokori is going to try to make some magic happen through that, an outhouse stack. Coming in, smoke pool onto Mila into the charge as they split up and leave her behind. Akatsuki have got to clean it up if they want to win this match against Hokori. I know there's so many people cheering them on, but 90% of the way into the safe room is not enough. They've got to get it locked down. Still have 225 bonus though to try to make it happen.
Yeah, so far there's been a theme going on here, and it seems that the lineup that Akatsuki has here has a little difficulty dealing with the commons, and then Hokori was easily able to pick apart the bonus. But the question is, can Akatsuki hold on to the lead that they're going to get here? The question is, how much is it going to finalize the lead? Oh, the Boomer does sneak out one, and doesn't look like the Akatsuki's pushing the issue too much. And Hokori's going to try to delay this as much as possible to get that last spawn. Oh, what a ski coming out here. The Charger does land. Almost a slam. They do get the clear. A couple more ticks of damage. Maybe Shockwave can get a scratch with whatever he gets. And it's going to be... no, not going to get nothing with this. And they're going to walk in with a 204-point lead.
Reloading. I mean, the fact that Akatsuki is walking with 91% of the DB here is absurd, MK. Look at their HP. Yeah, Mila's literally going to blow some of her HB on getting into the safe room because it's irrelevant. She doesn't have any DB to blow. All the people getting hit, they had slivers of HB, and it was protecting the DB so well. There's going to be a 500-point gap after one chapter. One thing I will say is these points are exceptionally low here, especially for that tank not really... Well, I guess it was one of the more threatening areas, but still 500 to 90 points or 600 to 90 points. This is an exceptionally low scoring game so far. We'll have to see how chapter 2 goes.
Yeah, it's gonna. And look at that. We're gonna have a tank change a little bit. We're gonna have it in the middle of the map now, so this is gonna be open in the open area. Oh man, I'm trying to think. This tank spawn. You're gonna have to make a decision. The tank has to, he will spawn by the hittables close to them so he doesn't have a backup to get them, but usually when a survivor team of this caliber will see some of these dumpsters come in, they can choose just to hold the S key and go backwards. Yeah. Tank can't be caught out of position going for too many dumpsters and then have his tank go AI, but it's going to come into play here in my opinion. But Hokori is down about 500, as you were saying, as we loaded in the next map. And with Dark Carnival chapters not being as worth as much, I'm gonna do it too just in case. But with this campaign not being worth that much, I think this 500-point lead is more like 750 to 800 on other campaigns. But you got to be able to hold it, and it is Hokori. And getting double capped like that is not a good start. And the jockeys in the spit 9. No, we were just praising, and they throw away 19% bonus. Amazing from Hokori.
Yeah, I mean, X's and O's, my team is basically never getting damage here. The fact that 20% came out on a Akatsuki is kind of crazy. I mean, that's not the scariest area to get hit. And the fact that they just bled out so much, I mean, Hokori is going to be loving it. They're going to be eating it up. And we'll see how well they can push the tempo play. They're going to go really fast here. Nice. They challenge Akatsuki's aim game. And Akatsuki does manage to shut down another Hunter, shutting down the hit as well, essentially. Smoker not really able to find much, and Akatsuki moves forward.
Yeah, I mean, they take a little bit of free spit damage, and then they'll lower the average that they've taken, but it's still over double digits at this point, so they need to shut down a couple of more attacks to get to this tank spawn. They have almost taken a tank's worth of damage, and they haven't even gotten there yet. And we're going to have a pre-spawn Jockey in the back. Charger and Spitter still looking for a spawn. Jockey runs away, loses about 50 HP. Spitter's a little low on HP on a despawn as well, but the Charger And the Hunter are going to have to wait for this jockey to despawn, and now they do. And here they come. Charger walk around, gets oh, nice ski coming out. Jockey, Charger lands, are going to get the charge spit. The spit was a little late, though, in my opinion, but Ellis seemed to have a slow get up there. And the damage keeps piling out here, 9-0.
It really does. It really does. We haven't seen the tank yet. We're about to right now. Literally the only silver lining for Akatsuki is that no one is orange. You know, if that second hit for Hokori worked, then we had players slow, then this would really be an irredeemable situation. But we are going to be watching them kind of clear out this area, in my opinion, pretty much signaling that they're going to be chilling out here. But the thing is, like you were alluding to when they're in the safe room, this spawn in specific is a massive mind game. But I mean, dude, when you've got a player of Shockwave's caliber, he's not going to spend any time at all getting those dumpsters in. He got 3 dumpsters in before he even dropped 5% of his frustration. Now that dumpster goes a little bit wild, maybe a caster curse out of me. He's going to climb up. I don't think he's going to be able to retrieve it, but maybe trying to push. This is a really interesting setup from Shockwave. Trying to maybe wrap around them here, I suppose. Maybe just going for some rocks in the situation because he is still first pass. As I say it, he does manage to go second pass. We've got a Hunter, Jockey, and a Smoker to help him out. The ideal setup for this sort of, you know, frustratingly survivor-centric tank spawn here, you know, where the tank just has to walk it in. This can be some good, you know, just wow, good hittables coming out, but he's got 2 more to play with. Very flexible SI setup as another dumpster comes in. Got to be careful with how he plays on these dumpsters and these hittables. 4K leaves the forklift over, almost catches Ellis with his back to him. But now with the dumpsters gone, I think a 1 cap is going to be the best he can hope for. He is going to be able to secure that actually quite easily against Dex. He's still got 2k HP, and maybe he's going to get out with more than expected. This is the classic decommit. This is a strategy from Hokori. Get out with 1,000, 2,000 HP. Ideally first pass. This time he is second pass, but it doesn't matter that much. He's going to be able to continue to toss rocks with the guy down, buy some time. Hittables are still here, and I love the way that Shockwave is playing around these hittables. Look at how he is positioning himself to pressure with the hittables when possible. Hit comes out, and it's really segmented, not doing much. Is a 2-boom. Survivors back away in this situation. We've got a 500 HP tank on the loose. They are going to finally be brave enough to bait the pickup. Deck's still on the ground. 50% HP bleeding out. Dumpster 10. Oh my god! It's so much more difficult than it looks. Absolute perfect dumpster hit to not go over the head, but also to get over the railing. I mean, the precision is unreal out of Shockwave. Gonna attempt some rocks as well, just to add insult to injury here with 125 HP left, but let's be real, he's done his job, and Dex may even go down as they're spending their time picking up the other guy. Goes for the rock, is gonna land it, Jockey get in the way, he goes back in with 125 HP just to spend it to get the guy, but now they are going to be able to pick up the 1 HP. Dex as the boom chops in, MK, they managed to do it. They are going to be able to pick up all 4 members of Akatsuki here. 3 sets of pills left to go. Akatsuki barely evades a player death, and they continue for strong and fast at that.
Yeah, but if you go to total damage, oh, here comes the Charger. He gets the charge spit for. Oh, they get the. Oh, he pushed him out of the spit, so it's gonna help the survivors, but not Ellis. He's the only one that gets screwed out of that. But Mila gets yeeted out of the spit. That's a rare situation we get to see that. That doesn't happen very often anymore because of zone mod, but they're going to live. They were down to 40% bonus now, and they were at 70% going into the tank. So it is a lot of damage, but it's okay for Akatsuki because all the pre-tank damage that they've taken, in my opinion.
Yes.
But they're going to be able to walk into the safe room, but how much of these points are going to get a salvage, and will they get an extra set of pills up in the next cabinet?
I mean, they've made such great pace post-tank. This is one of the benefits of fighting that tank as far forward as they did. They completely avoid all of the chaos that unfolds right after that spot. They avoided the drop-down hit. They avoided the ladder hit. They made it all the way through this hit at the sack race, or, you know, whatever it is, the giant slide, little Peanuts giant slide, was completely inconsequential. And now we go through the carousel. Hokori needs to shut this down. 400 distance already locked in, but this is the difference of about 300 points, 350 points in total. If they can find a way to lock it down, Hunt Spit comes out, charge will go wide. Akatsuki shut it down with no major incident. This looks like bonus as well, MK.
Yeah, I think the spitter might be able to delay to allow the cappers to scratch, but all the commons are on the other side of the merry-go-round, so they shouldn't be in the way. So it should be free. Yep, spitter's going to delay. A little early for my taste, because they still have to wait for Rochelle to get there. And, oh, now that's beautiful job by the spitter. I don't know about Akatsuki, but a little sloppy there. And they're going to land a multi-boom. And it's going to be cleared up, maybe 30-some damage. They'll walk it with 200 even.
Okay.
Almost the same they got in the first map. But look at that 106 on standing survivors.
That is actually a crazy round fact. Zyko, 106 spit damage on standing survivors. I love the death spit, like you said. Needs to be M2'd away, but in the chaos it does happen. MK, I'm a little bit worried for Akatsuki. Hokori is not really projected to wipe here at this tank. And as we know, Chapter 2 here, the potential for tons of bonus is definitely possible. Pretty wide open map, some very important hits, such as this one, but look at the Charger get lasered. The Hokori specialty, literally, I mean, they do not let the Chargers even reach the ground. Instant lasering down, they shut down the rest of the hit. They take a little bit over 1% on the first hit, whereas Akatsuki took 20% on the first hit.
Yeah, that was devastating for their cause, and Hokori starts extremely strong. But one thing to note during that tank fight is that Mila ran out of ammo and had to leave the tank fight to go get bullets. And that brought that dumpster in on that survivor. Nobody was covering the tank or shooting it. And the tank had free reign to line it up and scored a strike. I can't deny what Shockwave was able to do. But now it's going to be a tri-cap with a boomer on the transition on the inside of the next building. Hunter pre-spawns. They get a smoker full. Charger lands. Boomer. One slam goes out. Wow. So they managed to get the slam, but they're not going to get a charge spit for the next hit. It'll be a tri-cap and spit, but no charger. And they needed that damage big time before the tank comes up here now after Hokori shut down those first set of spawns.
Exactly. They would love to find the damage. I will say this is kind of it feels a little bit like an all or nothing dumpster kind of tank area, but hey, Hokori's tank was able to just walk it in and make it happen, even with the dumpsters not landing. Nice little skeet. Jockey does land for a moment. Tank is going to be coming in the hands of Aisha, who has been, out of the Akatsuki roster as we see it now. Aisha's one of those founding members. Aisha's one of those members who has been ride or die with the Akatsuki back when they were the same four players every single game that they played. So if you have ever needed a player to lock it down here, Aisha's one of those dependable players.
Ooh, this is taking too long. He cannot get the fourth dumpster. Actually, I think he needs to abandon this already. Hokori will not hesitate to run this back. Oh, no, I don't know. He's already first pet. Nope, they're staying here. There is no run back now. Hokori has decided to fight this forward. They got to wait for Gohan, though. They don't want to send this tank in without a full set of spawns, and it's going to be a jockey. They may be happy with that its second pass. They got to go now before Hokori just uses the back up. Because if they hold the S key, this is a bad way for them.
Yeah.
All right, here it goes. Forklift in. Dumpster getting stuck. Dumpster is out. Oh my goodness, it skipped off the top of the forklift. Forklift is okay. Dumpster is over the survivors. And Hokori is backing up to the tree. He's down 1,200 HP, 1,500 HP. Oh man, they're relying on this dumpster a lot. And they send the support so early. Oh, I don't know about this. And now the dumpster comes through and it misses. And the tank has to decommit, down half HP. I am flabbergasted at what Akatsuki is doing here with their spawns. Sending in that so early. He's about to go AI. He has to look at them. Hokori knows this. They're spraying him up. He's down to 2,300. Spawns are still about. He gets one more dumpster hit. And this is going to be a no-hitter coming out from Akatsuki. And he is dead. And the Charger and Boomer are going to die off, which means Tricap with Spit comes out. What did we just witness now?
In my opinion, I do understand what Akatsuki was going for. They were trying to stack the one player who wasn't in the safety on the other side of the fence. They were trying to get Zyko down so that the dumpster would be able to in-cap him and hopefully they can kill him off. But even with all three SIs on Zyko, he was just... There was that moment of hesitation where Akatsuki didn't spawn in their hit yet, and they paid the price because the Hunter didn't land. Zyko had already got safety by the time any of the SIs were actually landing. So I guess I do get the idea, but it definitely didn't work. And this is what I was really worried about, MK. While I was talking there, a full hit came out from Akatsuki. It was at a golden area for them, and absolutely nothing happened. Hokori still has almost 1,000 bonus right now, and they are going to start rushing this hit, but there's still, okay, they were 2 up, 2 down, and it felt kind of like a bait to try to get Akatsuki to play off that. You know, such a great spot to catch a player off guard, but they choose not to bait for it because, MK, they need this carousel hit to be spectacular.
They need it, and it's not gonna be. They really don't have the spitter outcome, but everything else has to land. Oh, and it gets a multi-charge! I eat my words! It's a rolling tri-cap that comes in. Shockwave is the only one up. The jockey's still ripping away Ellis. They cannot get the clear. They're going behind the tree. Jockey finally cleared. There's an in-cap on the Yafed. And oh my goodness, that was monumental. They were in the 80% range, down to 46.2. Big attack coming from Akatsuki, and they now are going to solidify their lead into the next chapter. They're going to deny Hokori, bouncing back with a tug of war, and what a set of spawns now. And I eat my shoe. Hold on, let me get some salt. I'll be back. Finish the chapter.
Yes, half of the bonus is gone. They just lost about 450 bonus there. 1 hit left as MK prepares that shoe. Charger coming in. And of course, in true Hokori fashion, it gets lasered down as well. It takes a moment for the smoker, but I don't even think it got a tick. Hokori will get in. They will get 1,000 points, but Akatsuki found the hit that they so desperately needed to bring Hokori back down to earth. Akatsuki managed to still be in the lead by about 200 points at the end of this chapter as we take it to the Tunnel of Love.
Wow, I cannot believe that triple charge came out. They knew there was no spitter. Hokori knew it. They knew there was no spitter, and they moved very aggressively and walked into the triple charge. And the Hunter winning the 1v1 in the back was huge and all. It doesn't get skeeted.
Right.
If that Hunter gets skeeted, that does not happen. They'll probably get maybe, 60, 70, 80 points maybe total. Instead, they lose half the bonus because that Hunter is able to win. Even the jockey rips away, dodging some bullets from the boom survivors. You couldn't ask for anything better, in my opinion. I think more damage comes out because there was no spitter, because of the boomer. You know, I think if that was a triple charge, spit still might have been good damage, but maybe not that. Who knows?
I mean, regardless, Akatsuki, this is, they really, really need to win Dark Carnival. They had such a strong first chapter. It could have been stronger, but it was still, a good 500-600 point advantage. They have to carry that advantage across the finish line here. Get this early win locked in against Hokori before things can spiral out of control. Chapter 3 needs to be a turnaround, and the thing is, MK, this is definitely going to be one of those chapters that might feel all or nothing with a 32% tank. I will say, I think survivors should be able to get into the Swan maintenance room forward. So this might be a relatively safe tank, but chapter 3 is so chaotic regardless of where the tank spawn is.
Yeah, actually, you're right. That's going to be in the Swan room, and oh man, no, Swan room can be rough for both sides. It could go disastrous either way. I think it's definitely survivor-sided on teams of this caliber. Probably an in cap on both sides would be my projection, or my prediction. Actually, more like it. But all right, here's a nice spawn in between. Oh, the Charger hesitated. That is intriguing. Yeah. We never see that from Hokori, and they second guessed their SI there. No, that was kind of like, you guys ready? And the team was like, huh? And they already spawned.
And it kind of felt like the flip side. Exactly. It felt like the flip side of the carousel, where Hokori just had that moment. It felt like Akatsuki was so in tune with what Hokori was about to do, and they literally had their guns right there on Hokori, just waiting for them to spawn in. Because they just knew, you have to hit here, you have the God hit, Charger Hunter Jockey Spit, we know you're going to do it, go ahead and do it. They did it. They got instantly melted down. Jockey Boomer Smoker could get some random boom jank there. Not going to work out. And Akatsuki will be eyeing down a Zyko tank for Chapter 3. I don't know if Hokori hates this or loves this because, you know, Zyko is the man to make the magic happen on those survivor-sided tanks. But also, this is a tank where you kind of, I feel like you really do need the SI support to hold its own weight. So maybe they would have preferred Zyko on Chapter 4, where maybe he gets those dumpster plays that he's so famous for, some rock damage. But regardless, he's doing such an amazing job with the curve rocks through the door. It takes so much precision to do it over and over again, and yet he does. And it makes him such a force of nature. You can see the survivors are scared to even reckon with him. He's only lost 50 damage, and he has been able to get rock threat after rock threat through that door. Jockey Smoker and a Hunter for Shockwave here. A perfect setup as Zyko will go ahead and bring it in on second pass, 20%. Amazing B-hops all the way across. Able to get Nicholas immediately into the corner. Playing the game perfectly, but still hits him out. And Aisha will be able to pop the pills. Bye-bye bonus. Wait, hold on. 84% of the DB still protected as Aisha gets popped up to safety. Smoker pull over to the left as this devolves into absolute chaos just in time for Akatsuki to survive. They pop the pills, they take the DB, but they don't take any in caps, and they're even going to be able to get down before Hokori gets up.
Yeah, that's big, taking the choke point. Unfortunately, Zyko's corner goes yeeting over the top of the pipes. It's part of fighting it in the spawn room. That's why we're saying it's an advantage for the survivors, in my opinion. They had 90-some% bonus down to 62.2. So that's a pretty good take by the survivor. With his ski, the charger hesitated, but Nick walked through the spit, giving them a little bit of DB. That was about 4% DB thrown away there, but not a big loss. And they're going to be able to continue pushing forward. But Nina, let's go back to what you were saying about Zyko's tank. Yeah. Probably one of the best active tanks in Left 4 Dead, and you combine them to a swan room. Can't move, no decommit. You got to go in with all of it, and he did a phenomenal job.
Yes.
Akatsuki just did a good job on focusing the SI down and minimizing the damage. It was still above average tank, in my opinion, for that area, though.
Yeah, I mean, Zyko's a god. Like, it doesn't matter what happens, you go support or not. He's going to be able to turn a tank into an above average tank no matter what. But
Charger is off.
You're right. It's a Jockey, Smoker, Hunter, and a Spitter. No charger available. Smoker has even pre-spawned in, and it's getting chipped down. 123 HP. Oh, the 23-point DP with the Jockey carrying him up and down. But Rosha will be able to land on top of the railing. Still so much damage taken by Dex. Going to be able to pop those pills and keep it going. Very sloppy response to Hokori's massive lack of a charger, glaring them down, but still they make it up and over. Very important breakpoint for Akatsuki, very important choke point to make it through. They're not done yet, though. They've still got the reset area up ahead, which absolutely threatens to take away their bonus, as well as the double charge coming out of nowhere. Going to take MLA to a different zip code, but the damage is not too crazy, and they're going to be able to keep it trucking.
Wow, did you just see what happened? They're so lucky. Nice ski coming out there. Nick almost got Jockey in cap, and they cleared it in the split second time. They're going to be able to take this choke point too. One more hit left, 445 bonus. But man, they've lost so much on the focusing of that Smoker 9 now, and they didn't have a Hunter. Landed a DP for free. Like you said, Dex lost so much, and the damage bonus is like where all their points are, pretty much.
But look at the reset area right here. They've got a Smoker. They've got a Charger. They don't have a Jockey, but they absolutely do have the pieces to make this reset puzzle happen. Boom, stumble. Smoker pulled her a little bit far away. Charger going to come in from behind, and the reset does not happen. Yes, the player gets knocked into the spit, and that's great. That's great damage, but it's not a reset. And it is going to be 4 Akatsuki members making it through with 300 bonus past the area of no return, and this is massive for Akatsuki. They've got one more hit left to deal with, and Hokori can maybe piece together something moderately effective, but they got to scramble here. Zyko's not even in yet. Jockey off to the side in the brushes. Hunter hopping through. Oh, the skeet from Aisha this time. The shotguns have been so on point from Akatsuki here on Chapter 3 when they needed it most. 900 points in the chapter as they will be able to saunter their way into the safe room. Certainly something that maybe players could have expected to happen of players on this caliber when they survived the tank with no in cap. There were definitely some scary moments, but Akatsuki stands strong with 2188 after 3 chapters.
Yeah, that is pretty wild to get to see Akatsuki make that coaster with a bonus that they got. That's pretty darn good in my opinion, but Hokori is going to want to try to do better. It's going to come down to tank. Fast ready-ups, we're already going, and the opening set of spawns. Hunter, Spitter, Jockey, Charger, we should wait for the tunnel. I don't think with spawns of this caliber, they're going to just throw it away at the safe room door. No reason to sack, just be patient. And I don't know if we're going to get 2 opening attacks from Akatsuki here because they're waiting. I mean, I would rather wait 2 with the spawns they get, but that's usually a consequence when waiting this long on a tank at 30-some%.
Yeah, you're absolutely right. For lesser caliber teams, maybe that hit before they get into the spawn maintenance room would be a possibility following this hit. But especially if this hit doesn't work for Akatsuki, you're absolutely right. They're in the danger zone. Hokori's pushed through quite a lot, and what Akatsuki's going to try to do here is stack a player. Whether they get the hunt first and then they stumble with the charge while the spit's down, blah, blah. That is what Akatsuki is most likely going to be aiming to do. But they're taking their time. They want to stack a player in the back, which is incredibly unconventional. Incredibly unconventional here, but definitely not the telegraph play. Usually Hokori is kind of the godfather of this sort of unconventional play, and they do shut it down with relative ease. MK taking about 4%, which isn't bad for Akatsuki, but also isn't really what you were hoping for.
No, and just remember, this is Hokori's map. So this is the map that Hokori has chosen. The map for Akatsuki was Haunted Forest. I know that wasn't the map they wanted, but they didn't read what the map band said, but they're going to get another chance for damage, and they softened them up a little bit. All right, 9 off. 3 people are now 4 punches. This gives the tank a little bit of option to pick. Zyko's the only one he should probably avoid, in my opinion, but all right, they soften him up quite a bit. And my Hunter trying. He can't catch him, and he'll get shut down, as Dex is going to get the tank any moment.
Any moment, yeah.
Tank?
Any moment now.
Little spit block. Interesting. Tank hasn't come up yet. Dex is the boomer too. Did Dex get his own boom? Oh, he gets his own boom! Does he go in right away? I don't know if he's there far enough.
I would love for him to do it, but
they're all dead. The commons are all gone already.
Yeah.
They got a couple. He's gonna go with it. He got like 3. He is in. Nice B-hopping. He gets a survivor off the top. Nice pull. Gets a punch onto Ellis. Ellis gets up. He gets a second punch there down to 3,000. Chasing him up the ladder. Gets him off. Zyko drops down. Zyko gets pulled. Charger misses. The tank not getting anything here. Misses his rock. Charger, and what? The tank. Wow, what a take.
Yeah, you were kind of like flabbergasted on Chapter 2 about why Akatsuki sent their SIs so early. I think Hokori is so good at just like absolutely just like running the tanks around in circles and just embarrassing them. Like it didn't even look close for this tank getting smacked on these survivors. They had the perfect setup for players getting smacked into corners as well. Yath was instantly on top of the shelves. I mean, this is so beautiful, and this is so scary for Akatsuki MK, but fortunately they will land the jockey in the spit, beautifully timed spit, locking 2 players over in a side corner, and they will get a little bit more damage squeezed out of this situation.
Yeah, but that's a lot of bonus for the tank that they've just dealt with. This is huge.
Mhm.
1,000 points going into the coasters.
Yeah.
Kind of ridiculous. And Akatsuki's got to be careful. Their lead is in danger right now. And if do they find another set of pills? No, they do not. So they won't have an extra set for Zyko. But still, I don't really think they need it. They have 1,031 points remaining. They got a quad coming out here. It's going to be a coaster quad. And now it's a decision making here, Nina. Are we going to try to guarantee to get an in cap on this coaster, or are they going to just try to wipe them and go for the quad? Is it going to be stack or go for the wipe? 'Cause
Right.
if they could wipe them here, they almost lock in game one almost from this. If they kill them right now.
Yeah, it's such a good point. I feel like, a lot of times you can expect teams to kind of panic at this area, but if you're playing a Corey, you're really not expecting that. So that's definitely going to be factoring into Katsuki's game plan here. Yeah, we'll certainly see Quad going to be coming out shortly. A lot riding on it. Look at the charge spot, MK. Charge coming in from behind, dropping down, but Corey was completely unfazed. I mean, this hit on the backside has completely busted. Self-clear up on top as well, as the smoker tries to clear forward, or tries to smoke forward onto a shotgun player. And MK, this hit has been busted through. Not just that, it's been busted through with virtually no damage taken.
Yeah, and look at the spawn rotation. They're not going to have a hit at the top of the hill. They might flub this. They need to make sure they get a quad in the last hit. They have no choice now. They got to make sure Charger and Jockey go and get some kind of damage here. The Jockey, here comes the Charger, B-hopping. He gets stuck. He doesn't land. Jockey does, but will get cleared right away. And here go the Boom Spit into the quad stack. And this is going to be it. 970 bonus or bust. The last hit.
Okay, they are heavily split, but of course there's no danger because Akatsuki is not up. And that's the sort of game sense that Hokori is putting on display 99.9% of the time. They are not leaving gaps. They are not giving Akatsuki or really any team any kind of openings unless they're at a time where the other team shouldn't be taking advantage of those openings, and it's just a bait. Hokori is so good at that too. They just when you think that you've got them figured out, it was all a bait for them to progress further past the choke point. That's even scarier than the one you hit them at. But regardless, speaking of important choke points, this is, like I said, the point of no return. This is the reset spot that could change it all for Akatsuki. They've got another quad. The question is again, do they go for the full wipe, or do they go for the reset? Or maybe they could go for both with this angle. But regardless, I mean, look at the charge. Actually, this is a smoker over here in outer space, over in the jungle. That is the craziest smoker. Charger comes in, finds something. Jockey will get the reset. So they will be able to reset. But MK, this reset is so effective when multiple players are bleeding out, when there's no pills left, when there's perma-slow players. A smoker getting an amazing reset on Grizz there as well, but it begs the question, MK, with all these pills available, all this permanent health available, does it even matter? They'll get one more shot.
Yeah, this Charger has to land in here. Oh, he gave away the... Oh, they get it! They get the
Ooh.
charge spit, that's big! No slam, though. Very good clears coming out. Spitter with a little body block. They'll get the bonus down to 858, but it's still massive. I really don't see a situation of this Jockey getting a reset. No, in fact, the Jockey just backs up, see if he can get the person in the safe room. Massive separation on the Survivor team right now, which is kind of crazy.
Yeah.
Jockey, nope, not going to win the 1v1, or the 2v1. Gets M2'd and killed. They could get oh, that was a quad try they threw away here. Hokori.
They did.
No. Is there a Survivor in this? No, the Survivor came out. Okay, Smoker misses. Charger looking, drops down. Gets, oh, he gets, what a shutdown from the two shotguns. I thought that was going to be a multi-charge, and they're still going to lock in 800 plus bonus, and they're going to take the lead by about 379 going into Chapter 4.
Yeah, I mean, we saw this pretty much almost happen in Chapter 2. And, Katsuki wished upon a star. They got their carousel hit. They got their Cinderella story, exactly what they needed to continue the lead going into Chapter 3. but their luck ran out. They didn't have any more rubs of the genie lamp, and they ran out of time here. Chapter 4, of course, and the finale, potentially, if finale is allowed in this situation, are still on the table for Akatsuki, but they're going to have to do something major here with their SI play, in my opinion. I mean, Hokori has been a cakewalk for Hokori 2 chapters in a row. And especially the tank has just not really been threatening to Hokori. Katsuki got to figure something out. 21% tank. And it's going to be the dumpsters. It's going to be the bumper car area. Always love to see this chapter 4.
Yeah, and I'll tell you what, if you're a Akatsuki fan, you needed this. So this tank is going to spawn in the bumper cars, I believe now. I think he gets to punch one or two and then gets to back out. So this is going to be a wild ride, I can tell you that, with how many hitables are going to come into play. And there's nowhere for the survivors to run. So they're going to have to deal with it and play a little dodgeball. But opening attack will be retro attack with a spitter. And they're going to have Zyko take lead. Of course, EFED is going to follow shortly behind. That Hunter looking for a cheeky spawn on the transition out. As the Boomer is still undecided exactly what it wants to do. Here we go. Hunter. Nice ski coming out. Not even a chance. Spitter will die off next. We're going to hold the Boomer for the tank. And it's a Gohan tank. And it's a Gohan Boomer 9-0.
When those shotguns are feeling confident, when they're making it work, I mean, don't get me wrong, the shotguns were working it for Akatsuki as well. Let's hold for this boom here. Drops in, finds one onto Rochelle. In the meantime, Tank goes ahead and hits 2 bumper cars forward, make it 3. He does go ahead and turn tail. Goes ahead and goes for the dumpsters. And I gotta say, MK, I'm always really excited when we don't have the later tank and when we have this dumpster tank here. So much more room for personal skill expression from the tank player. It's going to be in the hands of Gohan here for Akatsuki. Got a lot of work to do. One dumpster already out of play, but one is very much in play, and the other is one smack away from it from the looks of things.
Yeah, a couple of rocks to get this over. I don't think he's going to want to punch it. Maybe 1 or 2 more. But he's going to have to commit with this tri-cap. No bumper cars were fortunate enough to bounce into play, but they are close to the railing, so if anybody tries to run in there, you'll get an easy punch. That dumpster unfortunately went too far, so he has one dumpster. This is it. And he pops it around, doesn't get it. They're going to land onto Zyko. This will be a dumpster hit. They should get it. He waited too long. What are you waiting for? It misses. And they're not even going to get the dumpster at 9-0. That was so well done, and they blow it. And now this tank is kind of alone, just smacking a dumpster. And Hokori looks like they're going to lock in game 1, barring some kind of catastrophe. And no, you got to be more aggressive than that. You can't take all that time to line that up.
Yeah, it seemed like he landed on top of the garbage, like the dumpster when he jumped out. I don't really know what happened there. Oh, the charge just come into the spit as well, but the boom stumbles out of the spit. I gotta say, the tanks from Akatsuki, they've been going for the all or nothing strategy, and they've been coming up empty-handed. It's happened on chapter 2 and again here on 4. We saw Hokori just take an in cap. You know, they had the player knocked down. As they got up, the tank just walked forward and in caps the player. And then guess what? If you hit that player against the wall a couple times and in-cap him, you still got the dumpster right there next to them. So I would have liked to see a little bit more strategic gameplay come out. I mean, a Hokori player could be dead right now. There could be 3 Hokori members, but instead there are 4. They're all very healthy, and it's just looking like GG with 90.7% of the bonus left. We'll have to see if Akatsuki can pull a rabbit out of the hat.
Yeah, a little bit more than a rabbit, in my opinion, is what they're going to need. I don't know if that's enough right now, but they need to pull a quad out of the hat, not a rabbit.
Right.
Landing that here still would mean they have to get it with bonus in order to take the victory here, and this is not going to happen. They're just going to hold M1 from a mile away. The Charger still almost lands, and that was just kind of a desperation quad, and just dimes and pennies worth of damage. 972 points. Event's going to be started. They're going to sack into one more quad for the alley, but it looks like they're going to get a big bonus unless this quad finds home.
Akatsuki has been sacking for quads since chapter 3 roller coaster, and it just smelled like desperation the whole time. They've been going for like some interesting strategies for sure. like the way that they sent the charger from behind, but Hokori has just been woefully overprepared for every attempt that Akatsuki's made, and this is looking like it is locked up with a passcode that only Hokori knows. We'll go ahead and see it as it closes out here. Gonna need. Hey, I'll say, MK, it can name a better chapter than the end of Chapter 4 Dark Carnival, where players lose literally all of their bonus when they had like 1,000 bonus leading into it. It happens all the time here. Will Hokori give them Akatsuki this Christmas gift of getting their bonus wiped? We'll have to wait and see.
Yeah, we'll have to wait for sure. It's either going to be shut down, a lot of damage, or wipe. We'll see what they're going to be able to do, but everything has to land, or they're going to walk in with at least 50% bonus. Without a spitter, there's no way they lose more than that, unless it's like a multi-charge and a tri-cap. But here's the transition. They're going forward. Charger getting ready. They're going here. They pull early. Charger's not there yet. It's going to get cleared. And the charger gets melted. It's a double cap that comes through. It's still respectable amount of damage. And a 25 comes in as well, which I didn't take notice. We'll do a raffle in a minute. But still, 841 bonus. I don't think they're going to have time for anything else. And Hokori still almost putting up 4K with being wiped on Chapter 1.
It's just something that you always mention when we got the quad. If the smoker is the first SI landing, okay, you know, this is what I'm saying. You know, I even let it trick me. That hit was, I was like, oh, they're done for. But no, they're definitely not. Zyko goes down. Shockwave is going to need to pop some pills. He's about to go down. And this is just a scary situation here for Hokori. They're trapped in a corner. Will they be able to weasel their way out of it and get to the safe room? Hey, down to 500 bonus. It's still going to get the job done as far as I'm concerned so far, I think. Maybe not. Maybe not. Kind of goes in for a scratch. They will finally lock it in.
Wow, they needed that hit damage at the end, 9-0. That lowered the lead to, what, 1,300 now? So they'll need about 800 bonus to even this out. That's a little bit more reasonable for until they got that hit right before the save room. Otherwise, I think it would have been already over. So they got a sliver of a chance. But they're going to have to do the same thing to the tank as what happened to them. You know, they can't take an in cap even.
Yeah. Good on them for getting into that safe room. I feel like that area of Dark Carnival, it's funny because Dark Carnival is such a long-standing campaign. It's been like the Dust 2 of Left 4 Dead 2 for so long. But I just feel like that last area at Chapter 4 is not really solved yet for the survivors. We see players just kind of rushing it down. Even the best players, you know, end of Chapter 4, we're just rushing it down and we're getting caught there a lot and losing a lot of bonus very often. Can Akatsuki reverse the curse here? Not only survive the tank, but also perfectly preserve that bonus to actually get a win here. It feels unlikely to me, but whenever it starts to feel that way is often when the magic happens. 2-2, Smoker will get cleared. Hunter beautifully dealt with by Akatsuki. They will shut it down. 99.2% of the bonus remains as they ping pong that boomer and go into the tank.
Yeah, okay, I was going to say they need a helper shell. They're getting a little common lock, but they're also going to go 2-2. Interesting that they rush forward. I thought they would want to team up and shoot this tank a little bit.
Right.
And Yefed is also going to punch and have no luck with the extra bumper cars, so it's also going to only have 3 dumpsters to play with. And he goes back there to get them, so we'll wait a little bit for him to get his toys into play. And I think they're going to want to kill this charger for sure, 9-0, before they commit.
Okay.
I don't think they want to charge unless they plan something different.
Fair. I mean, we do have a couple rocket areas, potential sneaky rocket areas. They're actually going to send in a full hit, presumably with a rock coming in. Oh, sliding that. Hunter will land. Jockey will land. Charger coming in. Hunter, Smoker, Boomer for the next hit. And Hokori's going to be playing this long.
Yes, we're going to play a long tank from Hokori, pretty standard here. It's going to be Yefed, the one who's going to try to get as much value out of this as possible. They're going to go in with 96% of the total bonus. Smoker's up, Boomer's up. They're only going to have a 2 cap and a boom here, I don't think they have time to sack this Boomer.
Yeah, that's a worrisome area. Okay.
All you know, I had the last one.
Hey, Boom comes in, finds Mila. Smack coming out across the two dumpsters. The 180 dumpster smack almost coming in clutch. Really insane work by that dumpster to just so seamlessly block off Rochelle and Nick and make it so that Gohan is just getting shredded. He goes down, a player down, 2400 HP left. The dumpster fortunately just gives the Akatsuki members a double haircut, but Nicholas, oh my god, it's gonna hit Mila of all players. Oh my god, Nick is over here in the corner. The Hunter lands, just wiping up. My god, the double cap. Absolutely disgusting way to end the chapter. I mean, Hokori head and shoulders above. As we wrap up,
Wait a minute.
assuming we're going to the next one.
They're asking for it.
Is the next.
No,
No, they're
okay.
not playing the finale. They will go down 0-1 against the one and only Hokori. And we go to, I feel like kind of a chill. Are you feeling that, Hipke?
Happened, but the 2 tanks on 1 chapter is always a treat. And here we go now. Opening attack, Hunter, Boomer, Charger, Smoker. And Akatsuki needs to bounce back with a win here. They'll go down the loser bracket.
Yeah. Interesting hit here as we start out. Very severe angles that Akatsuki's going to be leading from. But that doesn't necessarily work super well for the Hunter. You know, a lot of times that just translates to an easy ski. The foliage will hopefully help, but no, I mean, it gets shut down really quick. The Smoker comes in from behind. It does eventually find the tongue, but not at a point of friction. You know, they're able to just easily cut that tongue because there's nothing else demanding their time. The Charger didn't even spawn in. The Hunter's been skeeted. The Boomer's not there, so they just cut the tongue with ease. Continue on their merry way. Dex is now going to be getting in for the 4th SI, and it is now a 2-2. Smoker, Charger, Boom, Spit. Akatsuki look like they are in over their heads here after letting a hit go by 100% here. Bonus left for Hokori, and then walking into a 2-2. They need a little bit of damage here to try to help out this Mila tank, which is going to be coming in the near distant future.
Yeah, you are correct. Damage needs to happen, and a lot of proportions, because there's a lot of zeros on those survivors' health, and those are not good zeros if you're the infected team. When they have 8 zeros, it usually means they're doing a good job. And right now they are pushing down to the next choke point. Boomer has decided to reposition. The Charger is already ready. The Spitter is ready. Here's a pre-spawn Boomer. Charger rockets out and not going to find a home. Smoker is way too far back. Not even close. And that is an attack shut down. And Hokori, it looks like they're going to go into this tank almost full HP here, 9-0. Very impressive so far.
Yeah, it's quite an issue for Akatsuki. And just a refresher for those of y'all at home, the reason why this map is picked, I believe, is because Akatsuki thought they were still banning, but actually they picked. This is, you have to be aware of the rules and how they play out. Akatsuki have kneecapped themselves on this one. Jackie does come out. Mila going to be the tank as Hokori. It looks like they're going to go on the full aggressive here for some chip.
Yeah, and Mila needs to bring this in. There's no choice. If you don't bring this in, this tank is going to be firing squatted right down this tunnel. And Hokori is not going to even gamble with the poles. Some teams just like to stay in here and battle it out, and they want no risk whatsoever. They're like, you know what? We've gotten this far and taken no damage. Let's just go do the map again. And Mila has to keep bringing this because they'll just stop if he doesn't bring it now. So it's like, yeah, the attack is gone, but... And I think he's done everything he could, but... Oh, wait a minute. Can he go up there and get that and bring it in? But he didn't take the angle. Now he's just going to have to commit. Is he going to go get the card? No, he's not. I don't know if he has the angle to cut them off yet. No, he does not. He's still behind them. So this is going to be a lot of chasing. And the tank's going to get to the high ground. I don't know if I agree with that. Is he going to be able to make it over there before it goes AI? Yeah, he is. Okay. The grace period kicked in on the run back, I think, there, no. Right. So he got lucky, but he's got to go. He can't be really dragging this out. Here is Mila's commit. They do have a tri-cap. Survivors have 97.7 bonus. Here's the runaround. Oh, what a bait coming out from the tank. Good job. Misses a punch here. Gets a punch onto Row. Another punch onto Row. Nobody's shooting the tank anymore. Throwing a rock. Oh, what a ski coming out! Gets another punch though. Mila doing not a bad job. Gonna go hide in the woods and try to drag this out for another set of spawns. As Grizz is aggressively chasing down this tank, and then they choose to run forward now. But no, that was a little wild there. It's about an average tank where they can still do something, but I don't know. They got to be careful because that log on the top could be dangerous. I'm just saying, no. That could come into play. They have no idea it's up there either. Oh my gosh. He's not going to make it. Oh, it's so a shame. I was wondering to see what would happen.
Yeah.
Maybe the bot punches it. Nah, they don't have the angle. It doesn't even matter. He's going to punch it, but... Oh! No way. Okay. Oh, he punched... Oh, wait to see it one more time.
Legend.
So 20% damage, average tank, and they're lucky they got that.
Yeah, Mila really did what he could there. I mean, look at Aisha and Dex still on 0 damage. Gohan's only done 6, so not like they got a ton, or Mila got a ton in the way of support there. Really just making it happen against a team which has been very good at hiding around things. So good, really well done by Mila. The team really needed that damage. More damage does come out here, but this feels scary here. You know, we're not going to have a spitter. They are going to go for a quad setup with this AI tank still alive. For those of you who don't know, the survivors or the SIs will not be given a spitter in their rotation. So if you call up the boom like that, it does automatically set them up for another quad.
I think they want to kill it now. I think they're done with the tank chasing them. Yeah, they're gonna wait here. Make sure it dies. They do not want to chance a quad and a tank coming in, but they're gonna go for a pull here. Self-clear, the smoker fails. And they're gonna back up. And no, what is Akatsuki doing? They fumble their spawns, get no value. The smoker doesn't take advantage of the separation, no cover, and now a 2-2 coming in on the bridge. Wow. Yeah.
Reloading.
It looks like Hokori's about to lock up a ginormous score.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't know. It's only a 2-2. They can't get more. The most they can get from this is, what, 20% now?
I was really hoping that Akatsuki was going to go for the charger. Just the wild charge at that like bridge area where all the, you know, kind of death areas are. But they don't go for it. They go for something very normie coded here. Just taking down Zyko, and don't get me wrong, it is amazing, right? I mean, it takes down like 40% of the DB. Zyko's all the DB. He's 1 HP here. They're even going to pass him the pills. He's not going to take them. As you can see, he's just one-man army it with 1 HP here. He's even booned, but they will be able to continue to get him across. Can they get him all the way across the finish line, though, is the question. Jockey, Hunter, and a Smoker. Oh, my God. They managed to shut it down all so easily. How does Hokori do it? They walk in with 1,100. And this is actually pretty doable from Akatsuki. It's crazy to say. I mean, Zyko just kind of like tossed a ton of bonus there at the end. But still, I mean, it from the gameplay wise, not points wise, but gameplay wise, Akatsuki did just look like they were constantly trailing Hokori there.
Yeah, I mean, I completely agree with every statement you had there. They just were very fortunate enough to get a little bit of value from Mila's tank, Mila spreading the love. It was also unfortunate that Zyko flew on top of the boulder to prevent the end cap from coming out. But in the end, it kind of worked out because most of the damage came from Akatsuki stacking Zyko on the bottom of the end tunnel there and all. And I was actually shocked they didn't let Yafed do it because he's not damage bonus. So they gave Akatsuki the best value possible and almost half the points. So I think that was pretty good job from Akatsuki at the end, and a little fumble on Hokori on who they sent down. But that's just me. You know me, I come down to numbers, not always who the person is. So
right,
that's just me.
Let's see it. Yeah, the double cap does land. Charge comes in as well. A quick smattering of damage as Hokori does soak in that 5%.
Yeah, but everything landed though, no. If you notice, everything's finding a home. That's the like what you were saying
Yes.
about the gameplay that's coming out. Yeah, Goski doing a great job on clearing, but cappers are finding Hokori skeeting. That's the difference we're seeing on a consistent basis at the moment.
Right.
We'll see if it keeps going after the next set of spawns. Going to be a poo 2. One benefit for Goski here is a bad rotation. Jockey comes in right away. Spitter tries to die second, and it does not. Okay, never mind, it does. So now the Boomer's going to come in, get killed. Smoker should die. And, okay, never mind. They're going to do unorthodox. And is that a quad sack?
Oh, that's
I
a
think
good
that's a quad
point.
sack.
Okay, let's see the attempt. They're gonna have one shot at it before Akatsuki bring in the tank. This is kind of an interesting spot for it. I don't know if this is like. Okay, let's see it here. Time ticking. Presume they're actually sitting it in here. And they can go from either side of the train tracks. The Charger not going.
Gohan, what are you...
What are we doing? Gohan goes down.
I don't know why he jumped in the air to make the shot. He didn't have to do that. That was... Well, all you gotta say is the Hunter did a very good job on timing that pounce when the survivor jumped, and he basically says, I can't take it anymore, guys, and he just jumps off. That's what Gohan chose. The Hunter's like, let me help you. Well, look at this charged spit coming out. Now they're not going to get it, but some spit ticks go on to Nick, and Nick is pushing forward to shoot Zyko for 8 damage, so he trades 8 of his health for 8 of the tanks, and they'll trade that all day, nah, all day.
MK, they're about 150 bonus from losing the round, and the DB is wide open. Akatsuki, I'm not trying to say that the round is over, but what I'm saying is that this is not going to weigh well on Akatsuki's mental. They're going to need to find a way to shake it off. This is something that's very important for top-level Left 4 Dead 2 players, is these kind of moments are going to happen. Even if you're the best team on the planet, and Korea's these moments happen as well. Plenty of teams have, every team has these type of moments happen. And the defining moment is what happens after. Whether you let that moment defeat you and you find the 70% remaining bonus to be irrelevant and you're in your head, or whether you can rise above, find a no-hitter tank, maybe AI the tank, shut down the tank, get through the rest of this chapter. It's a pretty wide open survivor-sided chapter. Let's see if Akatsuki can make it happen. Zyko, would be bringing the tank? Really, not the player you want to be going against in this situation, really, ever. The smoker does not get cleared. He's hitting him off against trees, against lampposts, and he finds it down on decks. How does the man make it happen? You could probably put a pencil on the map, and Zyko's going to find a way to hit the guy against it and keep him locked up against that pencil the whole damn time. Mila is going to be getting smacked a couple times. The damage is definitely free-flowing for now. Dex still down on the ground. As we see, 354 bonus. They will get a good bit of bonus back once they pick up Dex. And Gohan did not get the DB busted down for the team yet. But 463 post-pill pop is going to leave them trailing this chapter already by about 200 points. Rough spot for Akatsuki.
Yeah, and they still have, what, 70% of the map to navigate, so Corey's licking their chops right now, knowing how big their lead's going to be. It's just not decided yet. And here they're going to send this quick, and look at what they're doing now. This is in orderly fashion. I don't know if you've taken notice at the end of the last chapter and the beginning of this, but Hokori is consistently attacking the Uzis in the back. They are completely ignoring the shotgun players in the front, and it's working. And it looks like until Akatsuki changes the lineup, I don't think Hokori's going to stop doing it, and it's working. Everything's landing now. Smart play coming out.
Yeah, we got another open area here. It is a quad. Another good spot for it. Now the rocket won't land, but the hunter will.
I mean, they're fortunate to be fast now. That's like the best thing for Akatsuki.
That's true. And you gotta hand it to Hokori. That area is not really an area where you're gonna find much damage. So trying to ship out a quad with it is a cool spot to be doing it. I like the attempt. They don't really reinvent the wheel with that hit, but I'm just trying to sneak some more damage in. Hunt charge with the boom spit. Going to be ready to go. 2-2. Nice skeet. Akatsuki continuing to try to clean this up. Boomer is going to go in afterwards. Charger saves. And I do think that is going to be yet another quad here for Hokori.
Yeah, I'm shocked. I think if I'm taking this last hit here, 9-0, this. Wait a minute, look at the charger. Is he gonna? Oh, I thought he was gonna try some cheekiness.
Yeah.
you gotta really believe to make that call to go solo with a charger there, 9-0. That's a big. Oh, they keep the spitter. Never mind. I like this better in my opinion. They're gonna get guaranteed damage down here unless they can skeet. Oh, there is no hunter. So.
I like it a lot more too. Jockey drops him down. Spit comes in. Plenty of spit damage. They'll get some bonus. About 850 to 1130. Game of a little bit less than 300 points. Akatsuki have managed. I mean, again, the health bars. It doesn't look clean, but they managed to get 60% of the DB, a chunk of the HP. They'll walk it in with their respectable score. But yeah, they gotta change some stuff. But overall, I'm just impressed that Akatsuki managed to get bonus. Because I was kind of worried that they were gonna fall apart after Gohan fell to his death, or fell to his incap.
Yeah.
I thought that was kind of the end of the round and maybe even the series for Akatsuki. So the fact that they got into the safe room with bonus is actually pretty huge.
Yeah, I agree. I thought they were going to be down like 400 or 500, and instead it's what, 300? Not even?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a little bit less than that actually. So I think they kind of got bailed out, but you can't lose too many more rounds. This is going to be the best of 3. You lost the first game, and you're down going into the next one. It's only a 4-chapter campaign, and this finale doesn't really have the best finale to do much because this end tank on the finale doesn't have hittables at end caps. So usually the survivor team takes it pretty clean.
Yeah.
It could go all over the place, but here's the action. Attacks that most likely come at the top of the hole, and there is no spitter though.
Yeah. This is really an area that gets so... Oh!
Okay.
My God! I like it! Out of Akatsuki. This is what I was going to say was, the threat of this hit up here really just changes so much depending on what SIs are available to the SI team. So the fact that Akatsuki recognized, we don't have the scariest hit up above, we can try to remix it, send it where Corey's not expecting it. It is up, getting 5%.
That's not bad at all. I think I'd be happy with that. And they're going to go fast here. Oh, the Hunter times the shot. Good job. Charger's a little late. Doesn't get the stumble, but gets the punch. I mean, the value comes out. Not bad. One more hit maybe before tank. A nice boomer. Only gets 1, though. And good sack rotation. Tri-cap with spit coming in again. And they're keeping the pressure on Hokori here. Let's see if they can do one more before tank knock.
Interesting spot that we find ourselves in here. Survivors definitely, I say definitely, but you really never know with Hokori. They might just surprise us. But usually we see teams run it back here. Gonna have this Widow's Peak hit kind of deal, but down it goes.
The spitter got stuck. That's unfortunate. That spitter could have spat away
earlier. Yeah, it's not quite 5% per hit, but hey, I mean, Akatsuki, in my opinion, they're getting more damage than they have been typically in the other chapters. They're going to eat a lot of damage from this as they bring in the tank. Without the SIs available, 400 HP taken away from Dex. Hit is going to come in, and Charger blasting Rochelle to a different zip code. Boom comes in for 2. Smoker's trying to run away. The car is in. Car is very awkward spot set up against the tree. He's going to choose to go for it, and that will slow. Now he's going to leave it. Okay, obviously he doesn't want to AI himself. Okay, is a serious concern here because the survivors are going to be running it back.
I think he already messed up. He already AI'd himself by double backing. He screwed up. Yeah, he's AI. He had to hard W. Yeah, it's gonna be AI tank. So But this AI tank can do wonders. I've already witnessed
Yeah.
it, so I'm not saying they're out of the blue. They just need to make sure they get a quad. You don't want a boomer here. But this is going to be an AI Dex. I don't think he's going to be able to make it. Will they get him another grace period? No. Without that grace period, he's not going to make it. Oh, he's so
So close.
close.
So close. And the worst part about this, MK, is the fact that it's going to take that much longer for Dex to actually get his SI up. The AI tank is already at 3K. Dex is going to be he's 10 seconds before he gets in. The AI tank is now at 2200. The SIs are already spawned in. They're trying desperately to wait for Dex. This may even be a boom as well. I'm not really sure. No, it's a smoker. Quad comes in. I mean, Dex wasn't even ready at that point. AI tank is walking around. They waited so long. They let Hokori get up to the spot. They're down to the spot rather than they wanted to. And they still didn't get... I mean, don't get me wrong. Zyko will go down, which is pretty funny. The fact that Zyko was in cap. It was a sad tank all around. It was sad SI play, in my opinion. But, hey, they get Zyko down, so it can't be that bad.
Yeah, they'll get I think about 15% damage from an AI tank, but shit, I'd be happy with that in my opinion.
Yeah.
For circumstances, I think the tank, when he realized he was going AI, should have ran the opposite direction, and that hesitation, that hesitation was enough. That 3-second step back would have been control of the tank, and I don't think Hokori's going to make that mistake. And here they go. The jockey doesn't win his 1v1. They'll get a charge spit. Boomer does land. And that's a lot of damage going out onto Nick. You fed. Takes the bonus down to 65.3. Good follow-up post-tank coming out from Akatsuki. Not bad at all there, no. I think the double digit after that tank. I think they got to be happy considering, but they got to keep piling it on here.
Right.
I think every hit has to be 10% here on out with a tank like that, and it's going to be hard for this one to find that kind of value.
It feels dead right now for Akatsuki, of course. When you're walking through here, people watching from home who might not be familiar with Quantum Forest, they might be like, damn, there's really nothing that Akatsuki can do. But the thing is, there are some very important choke points coming up ahead. There's this one as they walk through. Plenty of rocket spawns, plenty of around the corner spawns as they walk through this very narrow choke point coming up right now, where you see Rochelle walking up to it. And we've also got kind of, I don't know, it's like a kind of an infinite event with just waves of commons at the end of the chapter where the survivors, the SIs, can also push in some serious damage. Corey doing something I haven't really seen too much of, trying to basically cheese out this spawn by bringing it over and jumping up to the left. Rochelle at the same time is going to be walking over on the right, and she actually manages to pick Aisha. So there is no smoker left in the hit. But the smoker was not the power play here. It is the hunter, charger, and the spinner. But they escape the hunter. They dodge the charger. They don't get stumbled. They shut it all down. And Akatsuki sent back to the drawing board. Definitely doesn't feel good. But like I said, this event is going to be the Hail Mary for Akatsuki to get some damage in.
Yeah, the consumption of the pills makes the bonus dip below 60%, so it makes them look like they got some damage there, but it was just pill consumption. But like you said, here comes the difficult choke point, and they got a hit early, in my opinion. They don't have the greatest spawns for the inside. And no big delay, the boomer will land, and they might make it all the way down right before they go up the ladder. But like you said, here comes the damage hit, tri-cap with spit. And if Hokori can shut this down here now and go in with plus 400 bonus, it's going to be difficult for Akatsuki to make a comeback, because they have to take the same map and the same chokes.
Turn that shit off.
It is about to be up here for Dex. I like this spot for Shockwave. Climbing up on top of that piece of stone, but they actually choose to keep it going forward. Ooh, that into is so disgusting out of Shockwave. Trying to get the melee ski as well. Charger will land with the spit. It's actually going to be solid. Damn, spit onto multiple players. Grizz and Shockwave getting absolutely rotted down. Okay, still looking like 1,200 points on the chapter. But players are slow and they don't want to pop the pills. For example, Shockwave doesn't even have pills in his pocket, so they don't want to pop the pills. It's going to be tough to get some damage in here, but maybe Akatsuki can find a way in. Boom, stumble into Rochelle with the Hunter landing. Double cap in the back as well. Jockey Smoker. And they do manage to squeeze some more damage out. Still over 1,000 here for Hokori as they walk it in. But Akatsuki, again, trying to leave that door open for themselves to sneak through behind.
Yeah, I was shocked there they got the value at the end, but I don't know. No, that's a lot of points. 2,272. And Akatsuki to beat 40% on this map is not an easy task, man. And you know, Hokori's not going to let their tank go AI either, so they're going to have to deal with a human-controlled Hokori tank, and that's never an easy way.
This chapter 2 tank, it's such an interesting one, the whole AI situation. But also, once the tank gets in, you know, the survivors do have some options. The tank and the SIs do too. We're going to see Akatsuki defending that very aggressive early hit. But Hokori is not going for it at all. They are all waiting on top. Jockey Charger, Smoker, and a Boom. Ready to go for the SIs here.
Boomer and Jockey having a time, but the Charger lands. Look at this gnaw. 1 slam, 2 slams. Oh, that is huge damage coming out, and the Jockey runs away for his life. Wow, I cannot believe that. 2 pummels go out by the Charger, taking Mila down to 60 HP. Everybody else will still be in the 90s. Rough start for Akatsuki right here, gnaw. A lot of damage without a spit.
Can they sneak another one in? 2-2. Yeah, they will be able to get the Hunt Spit in there. You know, one thing that you have to be careful with these teams is just because you land the pin doesn't mean the Spit's actually going to get through. A lot of these Spits get picked, or the Spit itself gets body blocked by the other survivors. So you always got to be careful before you speak too soon. Just because the Hunter lands doesn't mean the Spitter is getting in there too, but in this case, it will. Dropping Akatsuki down below 90%, and gotta say, Hokori is doing their job just like Akatsuki was on their side.
We got a lot of commons chasing them. There's still about like 12.5, I think, coming from behind, but nice ski coming out from the Hunter. Oh, I see what they want to do. I think they're gonna hard push this tank for chip now. They're gonna line up together and push him. I like to see it too.
I think it's smart. I mean, the tank spawns out in the middle of nowhere.
We got goo coming.
I love the spit block though, MK. It doesn't actually get the job done, but actually, I mean, they don't do any chip really. I mean, Hokori kind of had their hit up, so.
There's no way they're gonna stay up here. Yeah, I was gonna say there is no possible way they're gonna run back, but Shockwave isn't going to do that double back at all, no, so he's going to make it, and his car is having a much better angle on clearing the path to the survivors. And this is now just going to make sure they run all the way back because they could double back here. And yeah. All right. It's going to be close. Actually, no, I don't know. This is going to be close. I don't know if he's going to make it. He's already second pass. Oh, the grace period kicked in.
Yeah. I mean, we saw Dex get so close. I think we'll see Shockwave no problem make it in. We'll see, but should be able to get it in. The question is, like, what is the tank trying to do? Is he going to be trying to push survivors down? I guess so, yeah, just try to push them all down. Shockwave bringing it in here. Hunting down Akatsuki. God, I'm so scared of that Charger. But Akatsuki break through all 4 down the broken railing after baiting the Charger spawn out. A little bit of disrespect from Hokori, in my opinion. Basically expecting Akatsuki to just walk into a 4-man charge. And they absolutely did not. It was a beautiful bait. They don't even get that end cap IFK. That was such a magnificent tank to be able to compensate there for Akatsuki, because it was one of those rare instances where they completely flipped the game on its head. Hokori's been winning all these tank exchanges whether on the Survivor side or on the SI side. And now Akatsuki have officially flipped the script.
They sure have. Absolutely, they have an understatement. I don't know if you noticed though, but 2 survivors lost 8 HP from falling off the top. Mila and Dex, but the tank didn't punch them, so I think it worked out in their favor. Smoker pull Hunter in the back gets landed. Pounce spit is successful, and it spreads all the way into the tunnel to Coach. And that's incredible value from a 2-2 here now. 67.5% bonus remaining. And I think Hokori's keeping the pressure on, and there is about 350 point difference as we sit with half the map to navigate.
2 players taking 8 fall damage is only 2/3 of a tank smack damage. So, and also it is not going to, slow them down like a tank smack will, as they have to get back up and all that. So, Akatsuki just, absolutely showstopper moment, but they're not done yet. MK, we've seen these glimmers of hope from them. I think Dark Carnival Chapter 1 was a great example. Where they also were looking on the outset like they were going to have an amazing Survivor round, but they kind of let it slip through their fingers by the time that they had actually walked into the safe room. It was decent, but it wasn't that blockbuster performance that we were hoping for. There is going to be a Jockey, Charger, Hunter, and a Spitter for them as they get through. Up on top of the bushes there, Hunt Spit will be able to land. Jockey going to try to get in, and he will, being very annoying, draining the survivors here a little bit, but they've still got a nice, pretty stout 300-point bonus advantage over Hokori. Will they be able to get through this crypt area, though? Because this is a very scary area, as we know, MK.
Yeah, they got spawns above them, but they're going to want to hit quickly so they can hit inside again. They want to probably pace. Actually, I don't know if they... Oh, Mila! What? Okay, they just went to sack to 100 Charger, Jockey, Spitter, and this could be the last hit from Hokori, depending on how well Akatsuki can take this choke point. If they shut this down, I think they're in safe room. If not, then we'll probably see one more chance from Hokori. The point difference right now still is, what, 315? I don't think that's enough to take the lead, but it'll make it closer. It looks like they're going to hit really early. Hunter already pouncing around. Jockey's not in position. It lands, the Charger in the back, it lands, and the spit charge is going to be a success. Slow get up, and that takes it all the way down to 727, and they eat the pills, and I think they're in safe room now. They should be there.
I will say, if we take the pills out of the equation, that hit was only worth about 100 points. With all that stuff landing, I expected that to be a lot more. Really well done by Akatsuki to keep the damage minimal, but they're not quite in the safe room yet. Still got one desperation hit. Got the door over there. Right as they break it down, Nick turns over to it, but it gets boomed at the same time. Hunter, Jockey, and a Smoker. No Spitter. And also, the spawns are all in except for the Smokers, so they can't really bring any spawns behind. They're just going to have to go in for scratches. Any sort of damage that they can get. 1 damage on the Hunter. Scratch from the Smoker. And in they go, 686 to 540. Getting a slight win on this chapter by about 140 points. And it is going to be getting them tantalizingly close. I'm not going to lie, MK, after the first few hits of Haunted Forest, I was a little bit worried about this match. But look at Akatsuki showing that they are still keeping their heads above water. And they are still fighting this match out.
Yeah, I think it was 136 points. I think that's it. I think that's what we're looking at as the differential, if I did my math correctly.
Yep.
And we're not going to see the possibility of 2 tanks at the same time. Actually, you know what, Nah?
Huh.
I got to be honest. I've casted many Dark or Haunted Forest games, and I don't know if I've ever seen a tank this late.
This is strange. I don't know.
Do you remember this late before? The second one?
I don't. And I don't know how much of a game plan these teams have. I'm very excited to see what they put together. Hokori is one of those teams that is kind of prepared for literally anything. So, they've just put in the hours on all of these maps. They're going to be baiting up the hit. Smoke into the hunt, into the spit. Akatsuki, big win for that.
And you see that Zyko got pulled through the spit, too. Not a bad follow-up there at the end to get some value of that 2-2. So they get damage on 2 survivors. Yefed gets the worst case of it, going down to 79. They will not get a follow-up hit. So Zyko will start the button. I mean, they could hit with a few. Who's tank? Gohan. Gohan can go with his Hunter, which I'm surprised he hasn't done yet. Gohan? All right, Gohan doesn't even try to go. Interesting. No, I thought it's opportunity that could have been taken, you know. But they'll get a Jock with Spit, I think. And now they have a tank all alone. Oh, and he gets a rock, and he's out.
So I could be wrong about this. I think when Gohan doesn't kill the Hunter, it means that the next SI he gets will be a Hunter. Whereas if he killed the Hunter right there, it would be going into the SI rotation at the end. See, the Hunter is the first SI that comes up. And it actually puts it to the front of the SI rotation. I don't know if that matters at all. It probably kind of doesn't. I would have liked the Hunter as well to just go. But just trying to find some kind of reason why Gohan did that. Regardless, MK, we are going to get at least one of these tanks out here at this area. And normally this is like not the scariest spot for the survivors, but we've actually been seeing teams kind of make some stuff happen here. Maybe a double cap possibility. We'll see how well the support comes in as Gohan is going to be rolling it down. Smoker, Hunter, and a Charger. Smoker above. Hunter lands as well. Early double cap for Akatsuki as they again go for those early send. Charger waiting above. Eventually drops it down. Sorry, it's kind of questionable out of ducks. Rock is going to come out, and yeah, no decommit path. Gohan, the tank kind of runs out of gas there by the end, but does get some damage in.
Yeah, it's a tough tank to play. I think Hokori did a really good job on negating that, not letting the in cap happen. They still have 3 sets of pills. Shockwave does need to pop just to be fast, and he does so. And what was that? 4-hit tank came out? I think he got 4 hits total. So that's not terrible, but that could be just one really good charge spit, you know, the same value that was gotten from that. But for now, it's going to be a 2-2 Jockey Hunter. Zyko's taking front part. They have a silent Hunter. And it's going to work out. The Jockey's there to cover. Boomer going to come in. They stumble him in the spit. And the Spitter gets a scratch onto Zyko, too. Incredible value there, 9-0, in my opinion, from the 2-2 they got. Cheeky little Hunter spawn. Everybody write that down so you have a silent pounce.
That was really cool. That was really, really cool. Well done by Akatsuki. You know, when you're catching Hokori off, you're doing something exceptional. We're going to have another tank at 3%, presumably in the hands of Aisha. Let's go ahead and see. Quad is ready to go in the hands of Akatsuki until that comes in, so we might not see this tank, but we most likely will, as, you know, Hokori set up pretty well through here. 2 on one side, Zyko in the middle, 1 on the other. Interesting, kind of asymmetrical setup there. Zyko eventually going to be walking it through the doors as the SIs continue to waiting for the run back, potentially. But Hokori, I wondered if this was a possibility. If they would, oh my god! Way they go into the corner goes Ellis, and down goes Grizz. MK, this is absolutely absurd here. Already taking a player down. Aisha's got 2,900 left, but he misses the follow-up. Oh my god. Absolute disaster here. Nick tried to fake him out, but not really the most effective pathing for a fake out. Kind of just gives him a smack. I don't know about that one. We'll get smacked there. Almost getting a double cap MK. They could have ended the round as it stood, but I think Aisha should be going down at this point. Wow. Zyko taking such fast advantage, going in for melee after melee. The millisecond Aisha started queuing up that rock, and they will be able to get the pickups here, especially if they can kill that smoke, which they will. 2 more SIs coming up.
Oh my goodness, no, but the damage bonus is gone too. They got everything. They didn't just get 1, they got it all. So that is great coming out from Akatsuki, looking to try to see if they can finish off Hokori. I don't think it's going to happen. I think they're going to live. Are they going to try to delay this? No, spawns are being blocked. Zyko's in position, and they're just going to let it happen. There's nothing they can do to prevent it. There's a pocket change worth of health bonus yet, and it's on everybody, so it doesn't matter who they hit, and they still have 2 more attacks to come through 9-0. I think Akatsuki are very pleased with these results.
Okay, let's see if they can finish their food here. Still got about 150 distance that they can finish off as well. Nice damage coming out from Akatsuki, but it's not going to stop Hokori. They will be able to continue pressing through and trying to get all of this remaining 100 bonus in as it just spikes up here with this remaining 100 as they make their way through these corridors. And it looks like they will be able to get full distance and about 50 points of bonus as well.
Oh, look at this. Oh, no, they're going to get all of it. Or they're just going to have pill bonus? Is that going to be it?
Oh, Zyka goes down even.
Yeah, it's just going to be pill bonus. They'll get the 24 points. Oh, no, 30... 34? 32? 34. No, 32. I know how to math, honest. Well, this leaves the door open for Akatsuki now. If they can take the first tank the same way and just take one in cap on the next one, they're going to blow this wide open by a couple hundred. It's absolutely possible. And they could take game 2. It's all it. They just have to make it happen. I mean, if you were in this tournament match right now, and you were X and O's and you had this is all you needed right now. You got to feel pretty good if you're on the Survivor. It's all on performance.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, this chapter 3 is really unique because usually the tank isn't really contributing much to the equation, but it's such a close quarters map, so the SI play has to get shut down, or otherwise you're still not getting any bonus. Smoker into the Hunter, into the Spitter, perfect example of what I expect to continue to see Hokori do. As they're going to be stacking players on top of stairwells, around corners, in enclosed spaces, and we'll just see if Akatsuki, you got to feel good that you were able to show Hokori the business, but you got to get the points in yourself, and that second tank looks pretty damn scary, so we just are going to have to wait and see.
And they're going to retreat back. Hunter's coming in for scratches. Not going to be able to do so. Try cap. It was a quad try. They're going to send it in. Jockey lands. Smoker. No, and the Charger probably going to die. No, he's frantically looking for something. They just keep walking where he's going. So he's just going to hold for a second. And Grizz will have the first tank on Chapter 3. Waiting for his spawns to come up.
Charger, Boomer, and Hunter. I don't even know if we like the Charger. It looks like Hokori's fine with it. They actually have the Hunter. Boom dies first. Hunter spawns in, gives the noise, and then stops. So, wow, and that Hunter actually got chipped just a little bit, I think, by Mila when they poked his head out there. So they know exactly where the Hunter is. But the thing is, it might not matter too much. I mean, you know that the majority of the SI spawns are going to have to come in from there. There's really nowhere else they can come from. So this tank is going to be all UMK. Let's see what Grizz can do.
Grizz already down 1,300 at the door. Hits the ground at 3,000 and misses a punch. It misses another punch. The Charger does land. So does the Jockey. Everything is dead but the Jockey now. And it looks like he's going to get that in cap. There's not enough guns to down him. And Grizz gets out. One more rock. No. Yeah, there's no way. Rock.
Oh! Wow.
And all right, so they return the favor, and Akatsuki is a little bit lower health now, but not by much. Let's see, what was it, about 3% difference, I think it is. That's it. But I don't really know, no. It's dead even. I can't really say who's out on top.
Everybody grab a weapon.
I think we're going to find out as they go through these corridors here. Because, you know, especially if they attack Mila, who is their front shotgun, you know, there she is, sitting in the spit, DB chunking down, already down to 60%, you know, it can disappear in an instant, and this really gives the responsibility over to the other Akatsuki members to hold on to as much HP as they can. If this is what's going to be happening, and if Mila is going to be the punching bag of the chapter, then they have to already accept that they're losing that DB. as Rochelle Mila, the DB holder, does continue to lead the way. I mean, that's just the way it goes when your shotgun player is the player who got incapped on that tank. Again, trying to go for Mila. Look at it. The jockey gets in for a moment. The boomer comes in, gets in, 2 away. Hunter Smoker's still alive. And MK tank is about to come in. This strange tank will be in the hands of Yaft. And this is all you once more.
Yeah, here is the tank into the hands of Yefed. And Yefed is directly above the survivors. He's already transitioning around down into Mila. He wants that damage bonus. They get the pull. Oh, what a juke coming out from Mila. The tank is abandoned and now chasing the other 3 survivors. He gets the jump, misses another punch. Oh, there's a punch onto Ellis. Another punch onto Ellis, 1600 HP. Still is not gone down. There's the in cap. Charger and Hunter is both dead. This tank is alone. And 9-0. Akatsuki has done it. They're going to get the pickup and they're going to have massive bonus. And they're going to take quite a couple 100-point lead on them. Let's see what they're going to have. It's going to be 609. If they walk in, they're going to have the lead by about, what, 300-400 going into finale.
And this chapter alone, we're looking at a margin of almost 600 points. Unless they take a huge hit right here, which is absolutely possible. It's going to be a 2-2. We've potentially got like a kind of corridor hit. Yeah, Boom dies off, doesn't find anything. We have a Hunter Smoker Spitter, probably just going to stack on the front, try to get some DB. Get shut down. They find nothing. Akatsuki are going to be leading after 3 chapters of Haunted Forest. And I gotta say, this is such the mark of a serious championship team here in Left 4 Dead 2. A sign of Akatsuki really maturing here, able to go the distance in a best of 3 against the best in the land, Hokori, and able to, you know, like we saw them start off strong in Dark Carnival, and they trailed off, right? And they lost the steam, and by the end of it, they lost the campaign. And one would have expected Akatsuki to carry that energy going into Haunted Forest, but it's been the opposite. They started off with a deficit, and they've been managing to claw their way back in. And that, to me, is just the sign of a very promising team.
Yeah, I definitely agree with every statement you said here, Nal. I believe that we are currently looking. I was debating on who would the second and third place team would be arguing to say who the active top 3 are. And I have to say that these 2 are probably the top 2 worldwide.
Wow.
They just happen to be both from South America.
Yeah.
There are, I do believe, some of the rosters from the UK and the Russian players are definitely up there into 3rd and 4th,
Right.
in my opinion. But this, I think, are the 2 best active squads. And one thing to note as well is even though Hokori usually used to see in their core 4, they do use 2 others. Shinsu and Celeste definitely play. And another thing for Akatsuki is they play other people too. So there's a lot of people in rotation on these 2 squads. And that's what I like to see as well. It's not just always their core 4, but when they do have their core 4 in, you know you're in for a treat.
Yeah, that's been another part. We'll go ahead and see this hit come out. Smoker and Hunter from opposite ends, ricocheting through, nice skeet on the Hunter, and they jump up on top of the railing to avoid the spit as well. I was kind of worried that it was going to spread on top of there and catch Coach. Coach just immediately runs right through it, doesn't take any damage. And what I was going to say is, I say this with all the love in the world, but Dex has been a liability for Akatsuki at times in this match so far for me. And I don't want that to sound like a negative thing or like I'm calling him out. The truth is, I mean, he's kind of a new face to this roster for me. So it's really no surprise that he hasn't just immediately completely meshed with the rest of the roster. So the fact that, you know, we have a player who, in my opinion, has kind of stuck out a little bit in for the wrong reasons at times, for them to still be pressuring Hokori like this is incredible. But I've got to calm down here because we've got a hit, and it's a serious one here. Time is running out. Hokori might be able to find something big right here, though.
Here it goes now. And they're going to land everything. All the cappers land. This damage is huge. The jockey's riding. Wow. And this is what Akatsuki had to avoid. Is taking these catastrophic double-digit hits.
Yeah.
And, I mean, they get the clear on Mila, but Mila, you can't lose your 1v1 with the jockey, you know it and all. That's just not acceptable. And they lose 20% off basically one hit. And Hokori's got to feel pretty positive right now with that momentum.
The only good part of that from Akatsuki is how fast the Hunter got cleared. That definitely had potential to be a crazy... oh my, the 2-cap comes out, multiple smackdowns on Mila. And it was so amazing. Mila had such good game sense about where the smoker was coming from. But was looking at the smoker and gets sidelined by the charger. So, you know, it's always kind of a game of elevations here. As, you know, one player is doing something that looks so smart in the moment, and they just get sidelined by something else entirely. Another hit is going to be ready to come out here in a moment. Jockey, Smoker, Spitter, they're already spawning in. Boomer for the last one. Poo 2. You're going to send that Spitter first. Smoker second. Doesn't get popped. Actually, I don't know what died first, the Smoker or the Jockey. But regardless, Akatsuki, they do still have 990 bonus. But percentage-wise, it is looking a little bit worrisome.
Yeah, they are taking huge catastrophic losses. I mean, look at the separation. It looks like it's just a free-for-all by the way they're moving. Yeah, I mean, they know they have the lead, but it's just very sloppy movement. Look at 2 survivors that have jumped up the hard way. They left the guy in the back. Oh, he does happen to skeet it, but there's 2 in the bottom, 2 at the top. Hokori's just looking to pick what they can, and they're going to just hold. See, this is what I'm talking about. Now they have a charger. They're separated. They can't get the shot on it. 2 survivors walk over to get him. The jockey, and they get death charge. What are they doing? Bro.
Carousel hanging. We got Mila dead. And again, just a moment where, I mean, it looked like Mila knew exactly where the charger was. Literally didn't even see, just completely walked right up to him. But, you know, again, knowing where they're going to be is one thing, but you still got to do the work in actually setting yourself up to deal with that, SI. That was not what happened here today. I think Akatsuki is done, actually, and I think they're going to go down 0-2 as well, because, I mean, as beautiful as it was for them to have a nice little 400-point lead, they're dead, and this round is done. Hokori's literally XDing their butts off right now because Coach was stuck, Gohan is stuck, and this is just an utter clown show happening right here in the court of Hokori.
Yeah, what the heck are they doing? I am so confused. And now it's going to come down to they got to wipe Hokori in order to win.
It's a little bit awkward.
And he charges the tank, and I respect it. And there's a wipe.
Yeah.
So it's wipe or go home. That's what it's going to be.
That's exactly what it's going to be. And MK, this tank is not that scary, as we know. There are logs, but they are actually not in-cap logs. They are 24-point logs. So, and also sometimes the tank doesn't even spawn until the survivors are right up on top of it. Get a couple of 1,000 free points of chip. So, Akatsuki is going to need to lock it down. I will say, MK, though, this chapter in specific does just have a very high propensity to lead towards a quad.
Yeah.
I don't know what it is, but people get quadded here all the time. Just the rockets, you know, the high ledges on the left and the right at the same time. People get quadded here 24/7. People get rocketed off like we saw. But it's asking a lot when you need that to happen to Hokori. So Akatsuki's need to be some evil geniuses here in potentially their last round of this match.
Well, guarantee that. I mean, that was a really pitiful spitter attempt. I'm just saying. Like, come on, you got to spit up the stair. He spit up the bottom of the stairs, getting like no damage, but. A little bit goes out, splits between Yafed, Zyko, and Grizz. Shockwave still at 100, and they actually sack him to a quad. I don't know if that's the right call here, Nine now.
Right.
You want to see what Hokori did? They're just like, let's just keep going for damage and take advantage of misplays. And that's what they did. And I think they're just trying to force it. Akatsuki.
I mean, we've been seeing Akatsuki do this all night, right? Try to send in these squads. I don't know if they're intentionally sacking for them or not. It kind of feels like they are, but I have yet to see one of these quad plays do really anything to Corey. But I said it happens all the time. Players get quiet here. For them to lean into it, let's see it. Smoker into the charge, overlapping. So they won't be able to lock in the quad, but they're still going to lock in plenty of damage. Absolutely. The sort of stuff that Akatsuki needed. It wasn't a complete breakdown like it was for them, but it is something.
Yeah, hey, if you could manage to get 20% on every quad attempt, you'll get 3 of them before the tank. That'll get them down to 40%.
That's right.
That's acceptable in my opinion.
That's wipeable, yeah.
You know, so if they could keep up the momentum, but Ellis cannot get up this ladder to save his life. So Grizz finally joining up. They're gonna get a pound spit. No, the spitter doesn't even spawn. Questionable. And they go into another quad.
And I do believe, correct me if I'm wrong, I could definitely be wrong here, but I think Hokori needs at least a little bit of bonus.
89, I think. 89.
Okay, so that's a very important break point for Akatsuki, that they were able to force Hokori to need some amount of bonus, maybe about 100 points of bonus. That is big, but right now they've got a lot of work left to do. They're up about 400 bonus compared to where Akatsuki was at this point. Maybe even more. Actually, no. I think that Akatsuki was like wiping out around here. They did it, and they are going to end it. They needed it so desperately. I did mention. I said it. I will be the first to say that. You know, these quads happen out of nowhere, and it happens here tonight. Akatsuki get bailed out at the moment where they obviously need it more than anything else. And we go to dead center of all places. Wire, like just a few points separating that game. Just due to the scavenge chaos. So let's get into it here. We're going to have Hokori starting off on the survivor side, Akatsuki on the SIs, Charger, Smoker, Hunter, and a Boom for Akatsuki with an 80% tank that is post-elevated.
Wait, what? Why is a... Okay, I was about to say, they had a double pistol in the lead. I was confused what Hokori was doing, but Zyko's back up front. Of course, looks like Shockwave's going to grab the first Uzi. This is a unique hit into Left 4 Dead. They don't have 4 guns, only going to have 2 here. So you're used to seeing 2 shotguns. It's not going to be that for the first attack. It's going to be a shotgun and an Uzi. So very unique circumstances. Smoker looks like he wants to get a pull forward. Charger still waiting for the opportunity. Smoker's trolling, not actually grabbing the survivor. So they're going to wait for him to move a little bit more forward. Oh, and Zyko's going to get that Hunter. He's not waiting. Zyko wants it. He's not being too aggressive. And now I'm being baited out with him not going. Wow, look how far he went in that room. Oh, the Charger comes in. Oh, they get the charge. There's no spit, though, but they'll get the damage. And they actually get a Horde to come in. Wow, interesting. I didn't even notice. No, it's going to be a late tank spawn, but this is interesting.
Yeah.
They're going to have a spit for all these commons. This isn't going to be quick, this event.
Yeah, I wasn't sure how Akatsuki were going to piece it together, but we eventually get there. Some damage comes out. Boom, smoke, die last, which is what we see teams doing so frequently nowadays. I mean, it's just constant boom, smoke, last. Whenever you get a boom and a smoke in the hit, you're killing it off last. You're getting the charge, hunt, jock, spit, follow up. You're landing that with the charge, spit. It's not going to take him out of the window, but you're not, I mean, when you're playing at the pinnacle, you can't really expect to get those random death charges. They're going to lock in the damage. They're going to find the damage. Beautiful M2 on the jockey, I will say. But the damage still gets through onto Hokori, bringing them down 15% after 2 hits.
Yeah, I agree with you exactly what you said, and I'll take the damage. Don't be the big, go for the big balls play, which I don't disagree with sometimes. But you know the consequence if it doesn't work out, you know?
Yeah.
And they're going to get a little double cap, a nice sack rotation, and I do believe they'll hit one more time up top. Good job by Akatsuki. keeping the momentum with the victory of last chapter now. Look at, they've already taken 20% bonus away from Hokori, and they haven't even gotten down the elevator yet.
And we actually saw Zyko put himself in the death charge spot for a moment or two, and that is something that Hokori likes to do a lot, is they will knowingly put themselves into harm's way, but they'll do so in ways that gives them an inherent advantage. Kind of an awkward hunter there. Charger gets lasered down as well. Spitter gets popped. Jock Spit dying off last. We're not going to have a good elevator hit on the exit to the elevator here. But yeah, like I was saying, Hokori literally is like, they invite other teams to disrespect them, and then they put them in their place once those teams do that. Akatsuki bit, Hokori shut it down, and they've really stabilized here. With it's 80% of the bonus left, sure, they took 15% of those early 2 hits, but they really cut it down here, MK, and it looks like they've stabilized quite well. Especially with no spit here on the elevator, they're really chilling here at this hit. Unlikely Akatsuki finds much damage here.
Yeah, but I think if I'm they can't see the numbers on the bonus like we can. But, oh, that's exactly what I was gonna say they should have done, and never mind. I ate my words now. I was gonna say Yaft and Zyko should be scratched, and they scratched both of them.
Wow, yeah.
That means Yaft and Zyko are gonna have to pre-pop commit, and that would mean it's just for those who want to get better at Left 4 Dead and all. Let's point the math out here.
Yeah.
If you're the tank and yeah, the Fed and Zyko pop the pills, do not punch them. You want to go for the other two. Remember, when you have temporary health and permanent health that's close around 50, it distorts the damage between half of the temporary health and half of the permanent. So you want the best value. Grizz and Shockwave are who exactly he should focus. Let's see if they're smart enough to do that, or if they just try to grab what they can.
Yeah, that's actually something very important to bring up, is the possibility that the tank may need to just take whatever he finds. Keep in mind, MK, there is the SMG spawn right here, which means they don't have to reload. They can just pick up another SMG, and that's exactly what they're about to start doing. We're going to see them get instant, another full clip. Coach does get cornered here. SIs are waiting. This has been rare for Akatsuki. They're actually letting Mila get that in cap before they come in. Double cap. Charger will get cleared out. Hunter is taking a long time before it gets cleared. Mila is now still here, wreaking havoc. Double smack. 2 are in cap. Oh my god, Zyko almost gets smacked as well. They will be able to pick up, but beautifully done by Akatsuki's tank. You know, you can argue whether or not you feel like they need to get the wipe, but the truth is, Hokori had plenty of bonus, and that has been seriously cut down as a result of this tank.
Yeah, and the tank did exactly what I was saying he went for. Coach was a very smart play, took Grizz. It was almost not a clear on that charger. They would have got wiped if they didn't clear that charger, by the way.
Yeah.
That was an amazing clear by whoever Rochelle was. Rochelle did that, by the way. So hats off to Rochelle, but they still have 177 points of DB, looking to try to get a little bit more. They walk through the death spit, or I mean this spit, not death spit. And it looks like they're going to solidify about 150 here now. Maybe a little bit more damage comes out, but it's going to be hard to get value in this area.
It is. You know, you always try to do what you can. And in your pug, you know, your like CETA, your center matches, you might be able to trick a team into throwing a bunch of bonus away here at this last area, but Hokori is going to be able to walk it in. I mean, some damage still managed to get out, I think. It brings them down to 548. I gotta say, this is totally doable for Akatsuki. Absolutely doable. And, you know, worst case scenario, MK, I mean, not worst case scenario, but most likely worst case scenario. The survivors wipe out at the tank, and they get like, you know, 375 or something. They get like pretty close to what Hokori got here.
Yeah, right now, Akatsuki has all the balls in their court at this moment now. It's more opportunity for them because Hokori didn't have a very successful chapter. So it's going to come down to what can they do before the tank, because remember, Hokori went down to what, 76% when the tank committed, I think it was. So losing 24 of your bonus before tank commit in a winter bracket finals on Dead Center, in my opinion, is too much damage. You know, I mean, it is close quarters, but I don't know, I'm just being honest now. You got to be able to shut everything down, and Akatsuki got incredible value, keeping their average per hit at 5% until the end of the chapter. So, I mean, Hats off to
I
them
agree.
to see if they can keep the momentum, or, Hokori, who else can stop momentum better than them? You know what I mean? There's a
Right.
reason they have 14 first places, and they're going to go in for a fast attack just to make sure they get more opportunity. It doesn't get a lot of damage, but geez, that's just an example of what they're trying to keep their pace at, because they're going to hit again and probably still have a chance to break the doors down below.
I wouldn't say that this is necessarily a super shocking play from Hokori. This kind of very early hit, especially when you don't have the spit, you just kind of have whatever. It's been very much in vogue here in Dead Center, but like you said, this does set them up for guaranteeing them a second hit here before Akatsuki is able to manage to go down. But actually, I mean, okay, yeah, I figured they had to send in this hit here before they got down. Okay, Charger not quite landing, still plenty of damage, taking a while to get the clears. Akatsuki, shake it off. This wasn't, too crazy. Gonna be able to continue on. The door is not going to be scratched, so they'll be able to go around. Gonna choose to not run through the fire and take free damage. Of course, they feel confident in their ability to shut down these hits. They don't need to be taking free damage by cutting down on the chapter. Hunter spawns in behind. Smoker as well. Kind of a very questionable hit from Hokori. And they even kill the boom off, the charger off third. So they're not gonna have a boom, or they're not gonna have a charge for this next hit. Not gonna have a boom either. We'll see what they can do with it.
Yeah, I don't get to say this very often, but I think Akatsuki got Hokori flustered with their SI right now. You don't see this very often. Hokori usually pulls it together and see if they can bounce back with this tri-cap and spit. All the commons are dead. It's going to be hard to get value. Maybe they wait a couple bits. No, they're just going to go. And it gets skeeted again. Smoker gets shut down. And again, a clean take from Akatsuki. And the spitter has suicides. And we'll go down to the bottom for one more hit before tank. But, man, they are looking good here. Null, 805 bonus pre-tank.
What's your names?
Let's see what happens when they get down to the bottom. But momentum is with them.
What's your name? Nick.
Looking strong.
Neither team able to get a spit for this elevator hit as it opens. I feel like it's just such a power play to get the spit in there. You charge somebody and pull them off the railing. You smoke somebody, pull them off the railing. Jock somebody, pull them off the railing. I like it so much. Neither team going to get that option. Akatsuki is so healthy right now with 91.4%. They rush out there, too. Not going to deal with getting caught inside. I will say, nice job dealing with the charger. Hunter will get in for a moment. But another thing you got to be careful for is the fire in this area, I mean, it's kind of like, it's a very obvious thing to say, fire is bad, of course, but it does kind of deem it's worthy of repeating that this fire will deal some serious damage as well.
Yes, it will. Absolutely not. Exactly. It was when I'm talking about, you get a capper, jockey, pull, charge, all into fire, extra ticks the damage, free going. It does hurt the SI, but who are we kidding? The survivors is what it hurts more and where it counts. So the infected will stand the fire all day without even any arguments. But actually, they just did a bunch of friendly fire there. I don't know if you saw that. A little bit of friendly fire comes out, but I definitely covered this other one. So this is going to be a Grizz tank for you for sure. Take it away whenever they're ready to go, when Psycho's up.
Jockey, charger, and a boomer as Grizz is about to go second pass. And what is the move here? Definitely not really an area where you're expecting to get boom damage in or really a boom landing at all. They will go ahead and kill it off. Grizz is going to have to continue to trade some of his health for frustration. He's already down almost 700, 800 HP, which is obviously not really ideal. Been tossing the rocks through. He hasn't landed anything. So, I mean, just really, really not ideal amount of health to be running down this long corridor with, where the survivors don't even have to reload. When are the SIs going to be coming in? They have to go sooner rather than later. Hunter, Charger, and a Jockey. They're waiting so long, actually, on Grizz. Gets one smack, gets another smack. Into the fire you go. Oh my god, it is kind of nasty. Grizz is still alive here, but he goes down quick enough. Nobody in cap again from Akatsuki. The damage was absolutely spread around. The love was spread around, but this is still looking like it could be a 400-point win on Chapter 1 for the underdogs here, Akatsuki.
Yeah, I think maybe it could be even more if they could take one more good set of spawns. Their bonus is at 550 on top of the 500 distance. They could almost put up 1100 with a clean shutdown. Can they do this very well here? I'm sorry, not 1100, but about 1040 is the max they can get here, which is still impressive. But they got to be able to shut down. Nice boomer coming in there. They're trying to make this Poo 2 work, and they're going to make this go into another full set of spawns. I think this is going to delay enough for Yefed. Nah, maybe not actually. They're going to start to push this out here. See if they can bet this. They get a little bit of damage out of it. Smoker killed. Jockey should get a scratch. And maybe a Fed Hunter. Oh, that's a nice multi-scratch. Wow. And the Hunter comes in. No. And they're going to walk in with 504 Nah. And we're going to see the lead for Akatsuki after map 1 again. On map 3 of this tournament match. Wow.
350 points roundabout is definitely not anything for you to feel super cozy about, but it is definitely enough. Like, coziness is not really the goal. The goal is to be driving that momentum, and that is definitely what Akatsuki is doing. They're coming off of a come-from-behind victory while down 0-1 against pretty much the world champs of Left 4 Dead 2 for the moment. You know, we got a pretty important deciding tournament for that exact title coming up soon. But, you know, still, this is a massive moment for Akatsuki. But can they keep bringing home this pressure? Because MK, I feel like Chapter 2 of Dead Center is such a unique chapter here, right? I mean, we just got really weird tanks. We've got the soda event as well, which is just like a kind of just a Ferris wheel in its own right. And there's a lot there's a lot that can happen in Chapter 2. We're going to have a 72% tank as well.
As Team Caster comes out here, we're all in the infected. I think every one of us tabbed down and we're all on the line. Shout out to Mando, my friend. Hopefully you get well. Hopefully everything's going well for you, brother, if you're sitting here watching at home. So shout out to you. In fact, you know what? Not about repping this. I'm going to change.
Nice. Got the MKXX Super name tag coming out along with MonsXX Super as well. Huge shout out to Mando Super, of course. But we are going to be getting into this one, and it's a god hit right out of the safe room. Hunter, a Charger, Jockey, and a Spitter, and this is always an interesting one as well because you got the SI is trying to rocket over. You pretty much know guaranteed at least, you know, good chunk of these SIs. Charger, for instance, going to be rocketing. And they do choose this route. Trying to get these players off. They absolutely do. The Hunt Spin. Multi-charge. Absolutely demolishing Akatsuki. And that is just absolutely not the play for Akatsuki. Like, that damage really should not be coming out. 30% is absurd. It's just way too much for Akatsuki to be taking. This has been their issue tonight. Some of these moments, like Dark Carnival Chapter 2, outside of the safe room was another perfect example. I mean, they're literally just sacking their survivor side on some of these chapters right out the safe room. They do shut down this one, and they continue on.
Yeah, they need to shut down them all to keep the average down because that is way too much to take 9-0 in my opinion. So
yeah,
I think next 5 hits need to be cleanly taken to even out because Hokori is putting the pressure on, saying, absolutely, you'll take the lead, but we're not going to make it easy. And their sack rotation is right on point. They're going to get another charge spit on the stairs with even a jockey. They're trying to rush this. Ooh, ballsy play coming out there by Mila. I was going to say, if they get grabbed there and Mila gets taken up there, that might be solidified. You got to
Yeah.
remember who they're playing, all too aggressive.
Yes, yes. Chargers spawned in officially, and Nick is just going to be doing what he can. This spotlight on Mila. Mila has had these clutch moments. It's not going to be one of them. Charger is now in, coming in, going to catch him. Spitter damage is, going to work out. Mila has to pop. And the DB is officially broken open. Any damage coming out onto Mila will be going straight to that DB, which of course is a very flimsy percentage. You really don't want to have a player with the DB broken this early, especially with the tank not even spawned in. But that is Akatsuki's new reality here. They've got to work with it as a 2-2 ready to go. Smoker Hunter. Smoker going to land into the Hunter. Actually, not stacking. A rare situation where they don't even stack. They still get some good spit damage on that smoke target. And Akatsuki is... I mean, I don't know what I'm watching right now. As they're taking... they're just all over the place.
Yeah, I mean, look at their health bar. It looks like a traffic light. You know what I mean? They've got colors everywhere. Gohan's now, so they got the tank up. There's still a bunch of commons in the back yet. And they have a survive. Never mind, they're actually kind of grouped together. But yeah, Fed is going to have a tank. Oh my goodness, no. I gotta go back and do the math to see what number tank this is that we've gone through, because they didn't get the finale tank on Haunted Forest. I think this is tank number 11, right?
10, yeah, because we got 2 tanks on Chapter 3 of Haunted Forest.
Yeah, I think this is number 11 coming out on this side. Trying to do my math again. No. This is number 10.
Right.
I think it's 10. No, you're right. Yeah, you're right. You're right. So we still have 3 more to go.
This is a really interesting tank here for both sides. I think it's... I like the rocket attempt. It's not going to work out.
Oh my goodness!
You can't park there, bro! And now, what does Akatsuki even do from here? This is really weird setup. Yeah, they're going to be forced to walk it back. And this is a huge win for Hokori, because they've got 2 players bleeding out. So running it back, that's always a good option. I think I heard some lag snap as well there.
We pop pills way early. Dex.
Yeah.
Holy shit, what's that?
All right, now. This is big for him. Hunter's still pouncing around. He drops down. He gets 1 punch, separates him big time. He wants to corral this survivor to the car, and that survivor says no. He's going to take my down here. They're backing up the hill. Nick, questionable call, gets himself cornered, and now he leaves his teammates separated. And what is Nick thinking? Nick has to go all the way up, and this is going to be a wipe.
Yeah.
And what did Agatsi fumble away? Oh, wait a minute. They're getting clears somehow? All right, they get clears, but it's still going to be a wipe.
So close. 200 HP left. Yeah, you're absolutely right. Nick, that feels like something that I would do. Just trying to create space for the team, trying to not get players multi-charge, or backing into a corner, getting multi-smack, try to open up some space, but it definitely didn't work out. 2 players getting multi-capped on the other side of where Nick got smacked. Obviously if he was with them, then that clears would have come out, but he was just caught off. And yeah, I mean, this from the start, right? I mean, this entire series has kind of felt like a roller coaster, which honestly doesn't speak very well for Hokori. Hokori has not really felt like they've had the Cobra clutch on this game like they so often do. Even dropping Haunted Forest, like we said, they've got a brilliant opportunity here, though, to kind of start bringing themselves back under control of this game. The question is, will they be able to do it? Akatsuki has been able to find those moments of glory with their SI hits. Can they find it here on Chapter 2 of Dead Center?
And they try the same thing, no. And they're going to get 2 of them in the spit. It's beautifully done. Not incredible value as the other side, but still very good, strong start from Agatsi. I would be very happy with that 9% from the start. Can't be too broken on the morale with a good infected
Right.
attack like that. Maybe it's not what you received, but you gotta feel good with connecting on your SI.
Yeah. The thing is, I mean, they landed a double cap there in the spit, and they got 1/3 the damage that Hokori got on them. 1/3 of the bonus, which just tells you how massive, how gargantuan of a misplay that was from Akatsuki. But we can't harp on it forever. We have to move on at some point, and that is what Akatsuki is aiming to do here. As the survivors push forward, they are looming over the possibility of this hit. But MK, there's not a charger right now. The smoker died off to try to get them a charge. Boomer died, and the smoker died. We talked about this. But Hokori could press the issue here, and they could get in. It doesn't look like they're going to seize the day, but they certainly could. They've still got a couple seconds here. Mila will spawn in. Mila's going to be a boomer. I was wrong. That was a charger that died. So he side trades, basically. A smoker for a boomer is what the trade-off was here. And yeah, we'll see if they can find any spit damage here. Hunter will actually land. Spit's trying to get him around the corner, but the boom is going to pop. And yeah, we'll be able to get out of it. Still going to be plenty of damage, but it is kind of funny. I felt like that might be even bigger for Akatsuki, but still finding the damage.
Yeah, I mean, they got to be happy now. That's another 10% down. So when they have the right spawn rotation in, they're making it happen. So they're still there, and it's going to be a tri-cap boom. This will be their last hit before tank. Let's see how creative they can get to find some value against Hokori here.
Yeah.
And it looks like they want to go quicker rather than later. The charger's coming, and Charger rocks off. Oh, what a charge! Oh, it's a rolling tri-cap, but they're going to clean it up quickly. Oh, but look at the smoker on the Zyko. I almost put XD in chat, but I'm going to be quiet about it. No, I'm going to do it. I'm sorry, I did it.
Instant smoke while he is on his head is crazy work. I mean, hey, the damage is coming out for real. But really the issue for me here, MK, is that this tank is in the hands of Dex. And I hate to bring this topic back up, but so far he has not really shown to me that he has got necessarily what it takes yet to really line up with the rest of Akatsuki. That car was close to getting in, but it didn't. And my question is for you, if this tank doesn't get the car in, Hokori just stands here, and that's going to be pretty damn scary for Akatsuki, is it not?
Yeah, this is a firing squad tank if you don't chase him off that, and he doesn't look like he's going to go back and get that car. All he has to do is jump over the railing, and it's easy access. And they're going to go for a rock instead. Is he going to go over for it now? And he's not moving.
Wow.
Okay, now he's going to go. No, he's not. I mean, Hokori isn't really making any effort to LOS him either, so I guess he can flirt with Rage, but he's not even keeping Rage.
Yeah.
Jeez, no. I don't know. I think there's a mixed play from Dex. Maybe what you were saying might have come to fruition.
I don't really know what he can do in this situation. Hokori is not popping their pills. Nobody's bleeding out. These spawns aren't really viable. Like, their only option is to start all rocket from one spot, the spot that Hokori's already looking at. The double boom was so nice, but it's not going to work. And the tank is going to be able to roll it in. They're all jumping up and down to avoid getting stumbled. One player goes in, look at the body block to prevent the double smacks and to keep a healthy player. Well, it didn't even matter if it was a healthy player or not. They sent Zyko into the corner from one smack, and look at how fast the damage comes out, MK. This is the exact same thing I was worried about. It reminds me of, like, Chapter 1 of Dead Before Dawn at that tank that Hokori popularized, where they just shoot the tank while they walk back. This is that exact same spot. And, yeah, they just absolutely obliterated.
Yeah, they managed to get about 40% value from the tanks. Not terrible, but
it's not.
Hokori just wanted to stay alive, and they were successful in doing so. They sacrificed some DB for it. They didn't care. The boomer was a really good attempt. If that boomer pops and gets a stumble there in the 9-0, it's all different. And instead, they're going to go here. They pull him into the spit. Oh, what a play from Akatsuki. Oh, 9-0. They're going to cut the bonus in half again. It was at 41% when they started here. The boomer's going to go in and land. Look at that, down to 23.7. What a play from Akatsuki, keeping the pressure onto Hokori.
Yeah, a lot of the times we see teams default to stacking, and it can result in really amazing spikes of damage onto players. Hold on, hits inside, charge spit will land onto Nick, and Nick is going to go down. I was worried about that in the spit. Down he goes. Look at that spit spread. Smoker is ready to troll the pickup as well. No, they are going to allow the pickup to come out. But yeah, that was a poo 2 in that stairwell, and it just shows a creative team able to get the damage in via stumbling in the spit. Really creative smoker use. It's a delight to see, and I'm just amazed that Akatsuki is still with their head on the swivel here, trying to find the shutdown on Hokori.
Reloading.
Are they gonna grab them too?
Can they do it?
Grabbing the cola.
Oh, he's up there alone.
Oh,
Well, they're
they
lucky.
get
They're
there.
lucky they cleared that and all. That would have been devastating if he went for a ride.
Archer. There it is.
No slam though, but that's the most delaying you could do. But the bonus suffers for it, down to 12%. And I think if they can hit him one more good time here, I think Akatsuki will still have the lead.
Yeah, this is just a heartbreaker. You really wanted to shut them down before they go through here. There's another 100 distance locked up in here, just a straight shot through. That Hokori is looking like they're pretty much going to be able to lock in. No matter what happens from here, one thing is for sure. 2 chapters of gameplay left, and it's going to be very close, very intense. You really can't ask for a better BO3 than what has been delivered to us so far. We've got 1 hit left in the chapter. Hunter, Smoker, Jockey, and a Spitter for Akatsuki.
And it looks like they're uncertain of where to send it. You see 2 of them are by the safe room. The jockey's kind of chasing the survivors around. So they're undecided. They're going to go here. Hunter coming. Jockey's coming out. I don't think it's going to work out. No, it does not. It gets skeeted. It gets pocket change worth of value. So Hokori will take the lead. But barely. Or is it going to be tie? Is it going to be tie? It's going to be tie. Is it tie? Oh my gosh, it's a 2-point game. It goes in increments of 4, so that's the only reason it's not tie. But wow. Akatsuki in the head by 2. If I was Akatsuki, I wish I was down by 2. I'll be honest with
Yes.
you.
Yes. You never know. Here's we go to the mall. This is another chapter where actually chapter 3 of Dead Center and chapter 3 of Haunted Forest have a lot of I've kind of been on the parallels here tonight, but there's a lot of in common here because these tanks often have a lot of trouble getting the damage in. But then, between the events, between all the escalators, all of the pretty aggressive choke points, the SIs can actually get in a ton of damage. So we're going to need really solid SI plays, trying to get the damage where they can on the tank. 57% tank, and it kind of just feels like no matter what percentage this tank got, you're never feeling like, oh, this is a really good tank for the SIs.
Yeah,
Except for that, like 70% tank. Like at the button, the tank that's near the button, that's pretty good for the survivors. But let's see it here. 3-1. Hunter charges Smoker, boom. Smoker finds nothing. Survivor's so aggressive as they rush it down. Charger gonna get in there on some Mila. 3% found. What do you think about that? What a start.
Yeah, undesirable stack order. I mean, they're going to kill the boomer off here at the end, but they're not going to have what they want. I think it's going to be a tri-cap spit with no charge. So it's not ideal for Hokori. It'll be ideal for Akatsuki to minimize their damage intake. But look at this. Quick movements. They go down, and the Hunter will land. Jockey will cover the... This is way too slow clearing. I think they outplayed themselves going down the escalator there and took unnecessary damage. I was really confused why they just jumped out. I think Rochelle took fall damage too from jumping off the escalator too high.
Yeah, that is just one of those areas that is very scary. I can understand why survivors would have a little bit of anxiety through there and want to just push through it. But yeah, down to 89%. It's not the end of the world. It's about 5.5% per hit here coming out so far from Hokori. So we are going to have one more hit before Zyko comes in, being blessed with 3 Zyko tanks. Charger, nice shutdown by Akatsuki. Usually it's Hokori shutting down those tanks like that in such flashy style, vaporizing it. But Akatsuki is getting those clears in here and there. Might not be exactly as fast of time to kill as Hokori, but it's competitive.
You gotta be careful. Okay. Temporarily there was a spawn in between, but they were lucky they didn't have anything in rotation. But Zyko's on the way in. Jockey comes in for a scratch. And the survivors. Oh man, no. Are they gonna stay up top here? No, they're gonna run it back. There's no reason to risk the biscuit. They're gonna take it down here in this open area. Yeah, and this is about as good as it's going to get for the survivor team, and it's going to be difficult for the infected to get a lot of damage. Oh no, because you can just fire squad this tank and hold the S button, or the S key, and back up and shoot. The question is, are they going to do that, or are they going to stand their ground and accept a corner and face the SI hands on? We'll have to see what happens when Zyko chooses to go in, and he can't play long again here either. No, this is just a commit path, if you know what I'm talking about. And he's in. Yeah. All right, here he goes. Zyko's pushing, and they're going to start backing up. No, but there's a separation from Rochelle.
Oh, what
is Rochelle doing? And that's just going to be the corner. Rochelle gets punched again, far enough away to pop pills and get out of the corner. Charger will miss. And Mila gets separated. Zyko's out in the open, misses the rock. And this is a dead Zyko, no! And Akatsuki wisely kite this tank around and come out with more than 3/4 of their bonus, and they have a chance, a real chance here, no, to put Hokori on the back wall if they could take this event very well.
That Rochelle situation was just, I was like, what's going on? But she managed to wiggle her way out of the situation. I mean, I will say that tank can definitely be a no-hitter. So we'll have to wait and see what Hokori does, but still 3/4 of the bonus remains for Akatsuki, and that is huge. We've really got, in my opinion, one more really, like, if a team is playing as a unit, like both teams are right now, this event is really the last super scary spot, in my opinion.
Yeah, and super scary is an understatement, because they're gonna have a quad on it too.
Ooh.
So they got a quad to take during event with commons at a choke point where you can get death pulled, and they're just going to push hard right. They know there's a quad coming. They want to take the safe route, which I like this from Akatsuki.
I like it.
Yeah, going the other way and letting spawns above you is very dangerous. So they outplay to this point. This is where it's going to come down to, because they could either lose a survivor here, a lot of bonus, or shut it down. What's it going to be, Naw? We'll have to see.
Hank has been the struggle for Akatsuki for a lot of this night. It felt like, here they are, out that. Gotta survive the smoke on one end, Hunter on the other. Smoke is such a nuisance here. I mean, it can pull you off, it can drop you down, it can one-shot you, it can incap you. This is a scary moment here for Gohan, who's leading the way. Mila is actually going to be the one who gets out, but he gets double teamed by Ducky the Charger, and Gohan still gets dropped. He gets dropped very safely, but still,
bro,
what is going on?
They're dead.
They are dead. Triple cap with a hang out of nowhere, and Akatsuki have ended their journey short on Chapter 3. That is definitely not what they're hoping for, but it's why Hokori is Hokori. Right? I mean, Jesus, that was unbelievable. Even with two SIs stacking a player, they still managed to find a way to get a quad out of that.
Wow. Very reckless from Mila. The jockey and everything spawned, and Mila just ran up backwards, not even looking, just staring at the smoker. And that was the beginning of the end. And Now they're going to have to wipe Hokori in order to stay in this, because if Hokori walks into the safe room, I don't see a scenario where they're going to be able to come back, especially on this finale now. Not looking good for Akatsuki, and now Hokori is at the door of opportunity. And let me tell you, if it's from the past casts we've done, there is no team that takes advantage of opportunity more than them, and they've given way too many of it to Hokori in this game.
Definitely. Yeah, you're so right. I mean, this just felt like Dark Carnival roller coaster on Chapter 3, rushing it up there, getting charged down, sending somebody to their death. I mean, this is horrible. The smoker pulling Gohan down. It wasn't just one pressure point. I mean, everybody, there was a multi-charge. Gohan got pulled down. Mila went way too aggressive. It was really a communal failing on the side of Akatsuki, and this tank could be a no-hitter out of Aisha. Aisha has, I'm pretty sure, already had a no-hitter tank tonight. So the pressure is really, really, really going to be on. And it's just funny, right when I talked about how they're out of the woods from that tank, they get wiped. So now they're right back into the woods. Got to make the tank work. This first hit's not very scary. And you can see Hokori is pressuring it. You're going to be able to avoid the charger, and the rest of the hit gets mopped up with relative ease. 2%, less than 2% is all that Hokori takes, and it just feels like it's an Hokori kind of night, you know? Okay, like, I didn't know, I felt like it was possibly going to be Akatsuki, but you feel this game state right here, and as Hokori feels pretty confident, I'm sure.
Yeah, they got to be on cloud 9 right now. No, they're in the deficit.
Yeah.
They know they've done what they needed to do on their infected side. Really unfortunate the way that panned out for Akatsuki, but very fortunate for Hokori. And they're going to slow this down a little bit. They know there's a jockey, a hunter, and a charged spit to come up at the escalator choke point when they got to push up. Still holding on to 1,513 bonus, a total of 98.2%, and Hokori has come to a crawl space here. No rush needed. They're gonna move 1-2% at a time, clear everything. No need to have any misplay. Is making the safe room pretty much guarantees their victory of this best of 3. Almost, that is. All right, let's see who's gonna go up first. Front is going to be Grizz. Okay, never mind. Yeah, Grizz taking the lead here. Okay, looks like they yelled at him. He's now in the back. Zyko's now in the front. And here it comes. The charger lands, and they'll get a charge spit and a pounce.
Wow.
No, the spit misses. No! Unfortunate for Akatsuki. There's at least 10% damage left on the board. Damn.
Wow. That is a heartbreaker. There's no other way to put it. You get a double cap in a corner. You see the spit come out. You already know it's all over. But the spit misses. And I gotta say, I mean, I was just so amazed that Akatsuki even landed that. They had so much patience. You know, when you're in Hokori's situation, a top team who is full HP, not bleeding out at all in that situation, they're going to take it sickeningly slow to the point that the SIs just can't stand it. And it works so well. It backfired this time, but they get bailed out by the spitter. And I just keep bringing this up, MK. This tank is just really, really bad. And it could be a no-hitter. So we're gonna see what how Akatsuki can make it work, but one boom to start us off. I always do wonder if we're gonna have Smoker going for that super cheeky spot, and look, there he is. He is definitely vibing with the cheekiness. It looks like he's ready to drop down and pull him over through the graded railing. It's all UMK.
Alright, here comes the commit path. The Smoker comes through. The tongue breaks on another survivor. Now the Smoker is... Oh, there's his pull. Oh, he takes it instead of covering it. Interesting.
Yeah.
There's one punch onto Coach. Another punch to Coach. Another one. There's the down. He still has... That's a lot of health. He is healthy. Yeah. He only has a Hunter, though. The Hunter lands. He'll take that corner. There's one punch. Zyko body blocks him, and he goes to the corner. This will be 2 downs. maybe 2 downs. Yes, it will be, and the tank shouldn't get the rock off. No, he does not, and I didn't realize that they ran out of ammo. Shockwave has no more bullets.
Oh. Whoa!
They
Tri-boom as well.
Just killed that tank in time. So this is going to be good value. Let's see what this finish is at. They still have to pick up another survivor. And that charger got too greedy, no. Too greedy and doesn't get the easy charge, but the smoker's going to land. No, he's not. He baited himself.
My bad.
And the smoker's just running away now, being chased. Yeah, if Yed is not having it, and the jockey goes in and dies too, just to make sure they have a charged spit hit coming in next. So, tank dead, 50% bonus remaining, Gnaw.
I'm not done yet.
But it looks like Hokori's going to take the lead. The question is how much,
Thank you.
or will they wipe him at that hit? You know, it
you're
could
right.
happen.
Yeah, I mean, this is huge for Akatsuki, though, in my opinion. This means that finale is going to be an option for them for sure. Pretty much guaranteed. And yeah, it was just like, I was so proud of Aisha in that moment because I think Aisha literally had a no-hitter earlier on. So to be able to get 2 end caps, like, don't get me wrong, it was not flashy work. It was just really solid decision making from Aisha. It's not much, but it's honest work, but you know, it gets the job done. And he's got to be very pleased with the fact that we got 2 players to bleeding out. Hokori going to be going to the event, and we're going to be able to hear a pin drop on this stream as Hokori is going to play this song and dance here.
What? What?
Aisha.
What are they doing? Zyko just walked up and slapped him, and alright, I think this is going to be locked up from Hokori now. They're not going to have an attack for the wait a minute, they kept the charger. I think they might have a spitter in time, so they might be able to get some value out of this, but they're going to have bonus now. The question is, how much bonus are they going to have? Charger is ready to go. It doesn't have a lot of HP, but they already hit the button and they just retreat out.
Dude.
And they're going to go in and get skeeted.
No.
And I think the writing is now on the wall. Morale is broken, and they're going to sack into a quad with a pre-spawn charger.
What?
That room was at least 10% damage now with 2 spawns, and they can't get it. They let him have it.
Yeah.
They're banking everything on a quad in a really unorthodox area. So either I'm going to have to finish my meal with my other shoe that I ate earlier, or else I'm going to stand corrected and have to go to the bathroom to get my shoe back. What's it going to be now?
What's it gonna be? I think you're absolutely right. I think you're so on point. I had so much faith for Akatsuki, but you can't just give up the best parts of the chapter for absolute free and expect to get anything done here. Tank did its job, but then he was the charger later on, and I have no idea what that charge was. Just not really starting to die, dude. If they did it again, I was gonna lose my mind. But the thing was, Ellis was so well protected there on the back line. It looked like maybe a triple cap, but you know that 4th SI wasn't getting in there. Onto Ellis, they shut it down. They keep it rolling through. We're looking at another 50 distance that they're gonna get in, which will put them at about 200 points up. But then they're gonna get another 500 bonus, which will shoot them up to about 700 points up.
Yeah, Charger trying everything he can to do damage. They're not going to get much of anything. Spit gets blocked by Zyko, and they're going to guarantee that 508 on top of the, 300 distance here? What is that, about 800 now? No? Maybe more? Let's see, we'll get the final tally in just a second. It's going to be 2,484 to 1,738. Whew. I'll bring up a calculator.
Hey, I mean, Akatsuki rose to the occasion on Haunted Forest when we had completely counted them out. That Chapter 4 SI play in the second half of the chapter was incredibly depressing. It made me feel secondhand pain for them. But it's definitely not done yet, points wise. Even if they need more than 800, it's definitely not done. We've seen all hell break loose here on this campaign or on this finale, and Hokori is not looking especially in amazing form right now. They rose to the occasion when it mattered most on Chapter 3, and that's the only reason why they're in this spot. Look at them. They walk right into the hunt spit. Jockey lands on the head. I don't think I've ever seen that much damage come out in the finale of Dead Center on that first hit, MK. Over 10% coming out. Zyko eating it down to 65. Yafed eating it down to 77.
I don't even think they had a charger, right? There was no charger. They still got all that.
There was.
I think it was 2-2 with the Hunter Jockey. Incredible stumble job. Very, very well done coming out from Akatsuki. Question, is it too little too late? We'll have to see. Gohan about to be the next tank for the team. That'll be tank number 13. And the last one no, actually could be the second last one. It'll depend. But they need it to be the last one.
They need it to be.
Yeah.
Absolutely. They absolutely do. That's a good way of putting it. That's a good way of framing it for the audience as well. Like, this tank really needs to be the last tank for Akatsuki. They're doing what they can here. They end up the hit with I believe, a double boom there. But I think Gohan will be chilling here. And again, for anyone who maybe isn't super familiar with the way this finale plays out at a high level, this tank here, we basically got Hokori on one end and the tank on the other. And the tank is going to be hailing rocks down on their head. And when the tank switches sides, so do the survivors, and vice versa. Rock comes out, gets skeeted, some SIs landing there momentarily. And this song and dance continues on as it looks like Hokori is actually going to go for the LOS play here and force Gohan to start to transition over to the other side.
Yeah, and Hokori is going to move right away. Yep, look at there. No part of being the tank being above them. But Gohan will get one more chance for Rock before his commit.
Right.
And they have to because it's a boomer. They don't want a boomer for this for sure. I don't think the pings are high enough for a boomer to be valuable in this commit in this open area. But it's 25% rage. Survivors just pacing back and forth. They try to rock it in there. No hit comes in. So they're just going to hold and wait for Mila. And then this tank's going to go in. And we'll see then if Hokori is in the driver's seat or instead backpedaling, even though they have a really good lead. I mean, with the points that they got now, they're going to need bonus anyways. It's what, 7 bonus would be needed now if they wipe at the tank for Akatsuki?
It's unfortunate. There are plenty of pills left to go around, okay, let's go ahead and see. We got the engage here from Gohan. Drops him down below 5K, down below 4K at this point. And he is just walking through. He said, yes, do you have any issues? Let me go and take an information dash to our incap over by the side. I cannot believe that it's happening. The smoker will get picked, though. And they will eventually be able to go clear, but there's one player down. And we got a jockey over in the corner. The tank is kind of fumbling the bag here as the SIs are trying to do it on their own. Shockwave is not going to... He actually is going to go down. Leaves us with 2 downs. The players are trying to pick up. Fed's pickup is going to get canceled. And Gohan will eventually go down. It looked so promising there with the 2 incaps from the 2 support SI. But the tank itself was just kind of waddling around, vibing.
Yeah, he just couldn't corral. The double cap was phenomenal. The smoker was hunted down. The smoker did a better job of supporting himself. That might have been a lot more scarier for Hokori, but he was unable to do so. And a tank by himself, even with a 2 cap, can't really do anything 9-0. It's just, he needs help. And they're going to land a nice pound. Smoker tried to cover. The spit was a failure. And now they're going to hunt down the spit. They don't have a spit. There's going to be more gas cans. And Akatsuki is just about locking this up. I mean, not Akatsuki. Hokori is just about locking this up with these gas cans here now. Because now the bonus need is going to start skyrocketing.
Yeah. Yeah, as far as I'm concerned, this is it. I mean, Hokori, I cannot believe that they're managing to do it. But again, I mean, MK, think back to Chapter 2 of Dead Center, where Akatsuki basically just was like, nah, I don't feel like getting any points this chapter. Y'all go ahead. And just gave him a free chapter. You know, you think, what if those moments had played out differently? What if they hadn't eaten 30% of the bonus right outside the safe room? Stuff like that. But hey, game's not over yet as they almost walk into another quad situation. Way too close for comfort. Hokori is admittedly playing very messy here on this finale, but they've got the room to work with, I guess. I mean, it's just amazing that Akatsuki feels so close yet so far. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I know what you're saying, and they were gonna try to delay that, but now the spinner is just kind of lingering by himself. There's a survivor all the way up the top alone, gonna get pounced, but don't think it's really gonna matter. Even if he goes down, they got the cans already. And oh my goodness, the tank will spawn the charger, not able to solidify. Where is the tank? Oh, he's on the ground. I don't think he's gonna make it up there fast enough to stop this.
Wow. Oh!
No, he will not.
Okay. Okay.
And they should be able to get down to... I think the tank should be going, not letting him run back, but they're going to be able to drop in the hole and get out in the open. And Zyko's left alone, but no one sees it. No, what had just happened? And now the tank's still above them. Oh, he's in. Smoker misses, but he gets a punch. Turn punch onto Coach. Another one on the Coach. He is down to 3,600. There's the in cap. Goes after Rochelle. Gets a punch onto Rochelle. Jockey gets Zyko. And the Hunter will land. The tank cannot get Zyko. Oh, he yeets Zyko off the ground. Gets in cap. One survivor up. I do believe this will be a wipe. Tank should be able to get there in time for this. Gets a punch on Rochelle. And a double punch. And it should be a wipe. And they're going to need a huge bonus null, but they did wipe out Hokori. Let's do some math and figure out what the number is.
Like 400? 500?
Let's see, is it 700 distance? Or is this 800?
It is 800.
All right, so minus 8. See, and they need 469.
I'm getting
469, they'll win, they'll tie the game. 470 to win by 1.
Okay.
Well, I can tell you one thing, if you were a Gotski and you knew you fumbled the bay, if you just wanted a hope of a shot, you got it.
You definitely did, because I mean there are a ton of points in this chapter. It's not like 400, 500 bonus is like a super high percentage of the bonus. That being said, we got players sitting in the boom. Mila also is just going to be soaking it up, just taking a quick nosedive into the tub of acid there as he goes down to 58 HP. And yeah, it's just not really the first hit that makes me say, oh yeah, this is like Akatsuki's time to come back.
Yeah, that you got to be demoralized if you're rooting for them, or the people that just want it to be a game, which I know that people want it to be down to the last point.
The game, the 400, 500 bonus, totally doable here, but that was a little bit worrisome.
Yeah, the teams kept it entertaining, I'll tell you that. A tug of war for the lead on a lot of the campaigns. 1-1, Hokori looking to finish strong here. And Hokori just going to be Akatsuki going to be wisely sitting on those railings. And the tank is up in the hands of Shockwave as he punches these gas cans. I mean, if you want to punch them to the survivors, that's nice, you know. But remember, you're not allowed to punch them out of play. That would be a violation, but punching it closer to the survivors is just going to benefit them now, so I'm pretty sure they'd appreciate it if he did that a few more times.
One thing I gotta say is it's not like Akatsuki is very frequently beating Hokori in tournament play. So the fact that Akatsuki got the win on Haunted Forest alone, huge step up for them. Not done yet here. 84% of the bonus left. This is doable. No players are bleeding out yet. The long game is not going to work unless, they don't clear the rock and the SIs. And, let's see what Akatsuki can do. They've put out some amazing chapters for us so far. Like that SI side of Chapter 4 of Haunted Forest, for example. Tank is in the hands of Shockwave. Gonna get the initial corner as they are just stacking decks from the looks of things. Gonna go ahead and prop him up into the corner with the help of a Smoker and a Hunter. Shockwave still at 2800 HP, but that is more than enough HP to get another rock in. And yeah, I mean, Shockwave right on target for getting some damage out. Gets that decommit, gonna continue to extend the round. And you'll notice Shockwave he doesn't really care if they pick up decks or not. Like, the idea with this decommit is not to then recommit on the downed player. You let him back up, but now he's bleeding, he's lost a health state, and you get to continue tossing these rocks with the SIs and just bleeding out the survivors. 2 of them bleeding out now. Rock will get popped, but hit comes in. Hunter not going to get skeeted. Will eventually go down. Rock now coming out. Boom is hanging out in the meantime, but still down to 62.5%. And the tank is not quite done yet. Still got a full second health state and also, full second pass, which is just now started, and has also got 1700 HP left.
And I think what they wanted to do here was try to move these cans, but if you touch the cans, the commons start. So that's the reason I think they've decided not to. Shockwave's just going to drag this out as long as possible. Try to play rock. No, he's going to go in for one more hit. Can he land the rock? But no one's clearing the smoker. He does land the rock. Here he comes. Charger lands. Tank is dead. Incredible value. And in order for these guys to get the victory here, they're going to have to get all these cans in before they get the next tank. It's possible. Super, super unlikely. And they don't even make any attempts for the second floor. So they want to put these in quick and probably go to the top. And
wow, you're right.
They have no choice. They got to go third floor. They go second. They got to fight the tank. They need to go all the way up. And no, they're taking too much time. Hunter gets skeeted, though. They're making the right calls, but no, they're not. They're going the other way. No, that's not going to work. Boomer gets popped, and thought quad for a minute, but they're going to need Spitter for this to try to delay these can burns. There's only 2 cans here. I don't even know why they're wasting time with this.
Got it.
Right.
It's just a complete waste.
I don't think they might not even be aware that you can get those canisters in before the tank spawns in. They might just be assuming that they're going to have to fight this tank. They're going to have to lose, like 400 bonus or less, and then finish the job.
There's no pills either. You notice that now? There's no extra pills.
Right. They have ran through the pills. They are continuing to pop them.
Oh, look at this separation to get the extra. Oh, they should have did it. They could have got him. No, never mind. They can't. Oh. They got to be careful. They're putting cans in after the tank spawn. I think that might be their demise. Because I think they put a can in after tank spawn, so the cordon's not going to stop. I think. But he's in. He's committing with the commons, and I'll take it away.
All right, rolling it up. Smoker over to the side. Going to catch off Mila all on his lonesome. That's going to be very easy manipulation of the DB. Down it goes. And they no longer have points to get the job done. 2,700 HP left on Shockwave. The last set of pills is pop. Shockwave going to go for the decommit here. Smoker, flimsy little smoker off by the side. Rock not landing. But he is going to get in there with 1,600 HP left. As you can see, the pickup comes out. Beautiful little rock. Survivors at 231 bonus. And this is officially over. You can't make more bonus come back once you lost it, especially when you don't have any more pills left to get on the map. Really, really strong attempt by Akatsuki. I mean, they took it to the wire, but just not quite. A couple key moments not going their way, and it is inevitable. Just a matter of time here. Shockwave playing with his food as he continues to ensure that this round ends in favor of Hokori. But the damage is beautiful. Tank, they're gonna go push the limit, but they've done it okay.
Yep, Corey is gonna sit up top of another winner bracket finals. Smoker pull into a rock, very well done. Shockwave will come up for a follow-up punch, and then he should die. No, wait, get another rock? Yes, he will, and another punch? Yes, he will! Never mind. Just from about to die to an extra 96 damage. And Shockwave will B-hop his way to the air and die all the way to the bottom. As the XDs come out, they'll put. It looks like they're going to put all the cans in at least.
Shit, gas, get in the car.
Oh, he goes down though. But he got the spinner.
Come on, fill her up.
So they're gonna be able to make the rescue vehicle.
Charger.
Or will they? Oh no, they're not. They're gonna make it with 2. One more can to put in.
Are you sure?
Yep.
Okay, yeah.
Alright, so that is going to be Hokori getting the victory over Akatsuki with a campaign score of 3,008 to Akatsuki's 2,000. Drum roll. 2,526. GG, no. GG.
GG.